your hoes in check. I got this girl and she wants me to duke her. I told her I'll come scoop her around 8, she said. That sounds great, shorty girl's a trooper. No matter what I need her to do, she be like, on his own throne, the boss like King Cooper. On the microphone, he flossed the ring. Average MCs is like a TV blooper. MF Doom, he's like DB Cooper. Out with the moolah, I let her get her outfit just to pull her off. She said niggas ain't about shit. I wonder if she meant it, I doubt it. The way it be in her mouth, she can't live without it. And can't live with this, handle your business. Villainous, stay on a scandalous whole shit list. One pack of cookies, please, Mr. Hooper. It's fun smacking rookies, he is the... Look like a black Wookie when he let his beard grow weirdo. Brown skin, it always kept his hair low. Rumors has it it's a S-curl accident. Doom was always known to keep the best.
He sure is.
Some say it's the eyes, some say the accent. A lot of guys wonder where their stacks went. I call her thunder thighs with the back stroller. Only mess with high rollers, do what daddy told her. No matter the city, she with me to do the thang. Working the coochie, hoopty, chitty, bang, bang. Same name on the titty as on the name ring. Pretty like Baby D off, all in the same gang. Keep my eye on her, really don't trust her, but I treat her like a daughter. Taught her how to bust a nut and the heat to turn beef to horse meat chalupa. Teach her how to hold it, of course he is the... See, most cats treat her like fufa or beat her to a stupor. Take it from the... You need to make her feel cuter and lay down a G like loofah. Everything a B do for her. Keep her in a new fur so she looks sweet when she go to meet the... Got the Buddha, get the grenadiers, twist it, put it in the air, come here, kiss it, listen here, scooter, let her try to bag you when she's on the rag, never let her fry the ragu, which will have you under some type of spell, crying dagu, her name on your back in a tattoo, whether a bougie boy, nerd, hoe, street chick, don't call her wifey if you met her at the Freaknik, you don't
I've been getting very ambitious with these starting student songs lately. Last time I used No Cesariga's Wow Wow, which is just a Will Smith song, so I'm like, surprised it didn't get my VOD muted, but I ain't complaining.
Usually it won't mute your whole mod, it'll just VOD, I'm sorry. It'll just mute that section.
Yeah, it didn't get the section, which is what surprises me. Good evening, everyone. Finally, time for more of the devil. I've been excited for this moment. I've gotten worse in regards to Morgan. I love her a lot.
What's not to like?
Exactly.
The murders only add to her character.
If bad person, why hot? Anyway, last time, when we left off, let's jump into it. High roller mode. Only one save.
Okay.
So, we were investigating the death of our buddy David Asher, totally an egg. They died from unknown poison / drug in their drink. A lot of people are ruling it as a suicide. But going to his place, we found at his last request, we went to his place, found Sarah, the most advanced what were they called again?
Warm android, because she is basically made to be a like fully human-like android.
the most advanced animate 16. That's it. Basically a daughter, and we've technically basically adopted her. And she is a precious bean. And she basically hired us to defend David and prove that he did not kill himself. So that's what we were doing.
Yep. And we also met, not quite the CEO of the company, but we met someone who
Not him.
used to be friend,
Jung.
Yeah, Ellen Jung.
The one who worked with David since inception, since they first got hired to basically build the foundation of the company now. Maybe, possibly the closest thing Sarah has to a mom, but not really.
Yeah, she was with David when he died, so that's kind of why I wanted to remind everyone that,
Yeah.
she went and talked to us and explained her side of the story. Also, Sarah is so valuable that it would be stupid not to sell her. But we're very stupid.
Where's the hologram of the crime scene?
Water glass might give you some of it. No, okay. Witness testimony? Nope. It'll probably come up later.
Also, hi Zeno, nice to see you in here.
And now we're going to meet a musician who was a close associate of David, to the point that I think they were calling each other on the phone.
Yeah.
The night that he died.
And again, the game glitched, so my phone's not red.
I think you just have to go back, put it back to the white case, and then back to the red case.
Yep. There we go.
Red.
Like Morgan. Yeah, our little delinquent that we're basically a probation officer for, technically. Why is that gotten quieter? Again. Turn you down. There. Anyway, yeah. Our delinquent Fran found us this person.
This is the establishment.
Now to see if Isaac Porter is as habitual as Fran claims.
Do you think Father was close with this man? This man who you've never met?
Also, Deacon's Days, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Coven. I am Cynimax, or Cynimax _. I go by Maxie and Morgan. I'm a witch, punk witch. Soon to have a new model eventually. The donation goal is halfway to its goal. I keep saying the same word twice. Bad alliteration. And thanks for the 2, Jasper. I do a variety of games with no set schedule, but you should stick around. It's very chill here.
I agree.
And Jasper for yelling shacks. Ouchie. I think you was close to him, yeah. At some point. I had some help making that deduction. Unironically, today, September 12th, what? Oh, are you talking about the Danganronpa 2 remake? Which I really think they should have announced that yesterday, because announcing Danganronpa 2 remake on 9/11 would have been hilarious.
Oh, exercise.
Oh, you were listening to his mixtape while you worked out? That's awesome. Fran saw that their metadata showed a significant cooling of interaction between the two of them, particularly over the past month. But Fran also saw a phone call between the two last night.
So they were close. Do you think they were sleeping together?
That's quite a leap of logic there, Sarah. Care to explain?
My favorite fictional stories are labeled Fujoshi. Do you know what that word means?
Sarah, do you know what lemon means?
No, enlighten me.
Do these Fujoshi stories you read include that word in the warnings? That is completely inappropriate for me or anyone to speculate about.
Inappropriate? Adonai, it's only...
I'm getting a very important text message from my private investigator. Excuse me.
Brett, did you catch that killer yet?
The killer.
The killer...
Oh my god. I don't celebrate Halloween. That's just an excuse for the killer to get me. No.
What the hell? I sent you his position. I guess that's what it means.
I'm at his position. Wait a sec. There's a character literally named... No. Sarah simply refers to us as Adonai, as like a meaning, basically as master. In a sense?
It's a reference to the story of the golem in Jewish folklore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Adonai is God?
It's a formal way of saying God or Father or Creator, but it's not exclusive to God.
I haven't...
Like,
yeah.
The story of the golem is specifically like the golem refers to its creator as Adonai, which is why Sarah uses that.
Adonai is simply the word for Lord. Lord means someone or something having power, authority, or influence, a master or ruler. So yeah, it can be interpreted. It can be God or just master. However you want to interpret that. I haven't spoken to Porter yet. Anyway, there's no reason to suspect him right now.
Lame.
Surprised you're invested all of a sudden. Isn't David Asher a corporate sellout in your eyes?
Everyone's a corporate sellout, but Asher gets respect. If I'm a demolitions expert, he's like a really good architect.
That's almost sweet, I think.
Asher started out working in Cube. So, in the architect analogy, by today's standards, he's like...
I've come to dislike people who text like this. Just saying one sentence in multiple posts. Like, just say it all at once, please.
IDK. As a kid, he built all his bricks by hand.
David Asher built this in a cave with a box of scraps.
Or something.
You know that lit homework can help you with forming analogies.
Eat this analogy. Redacted. Did that come through, or did the characters break? It's supposed to be a guy giving you the finger.
I take it Cube is a programming language. What's special about it?
Pretty much anything coded in the last 20 years is web-based.
You text like that, Jasper? Well, you're cute, so you get a pass.
You code with the assumption that you'll always be connected.
Did you just assume my code? I'm
So
sorry.
you can depend on having fat libraries of references to lean on. And if something does go wrong, your errors get reported to you automatically.
But not Cube?
You can look it up. But basically, Cube was originally for robotics and, like, machinery. Stuff that had to operate in mines.
For my high school science project, I'm gonna develop an animate coded entirely in Java.
It's going to kill itself in 5 minutes.
But it lived.
Under the ocean?
Under the sea.
Middle of nowhere fields with 0 signal service. So, Cube had to be self-sufficient.
How rugged?
Where Asher learned Cube anyway? It's older than dirt. From like the 40s.
The 2040s. Ugh. I don't know. I think his father had a machine shop or something.
Vague.
Yeah, well, David didn't like to talk about his family. And I never asked.
What did your private investigator have to say, Adonai?
She's interested.
Her eyes.
Not telling. I like your silhouette, lady. Oh, sir. Dude. That one over there. He matches the photo Fran sent. Should I approach now or look around some more? Well, if that's the dude, I want to look around. Stage for the talent. Pretty close to the floor. Guess it fits with the whole round table aspect of this place. Everyone's on more or less equal footing, dancing in the dark. Want to get past the bouncer.
Do you think they might have met here?
David and Porter? I can't see David walking in here.
Because you found the walk so challenging.
Because it's too loud to relax. And not dark enough to be anonymous.
I see.
What's that face? You got an opinion to share?
The atmosphere's not bad in here, but the music isn't quite...
I'll find you a survey to fill out before we leave. What kind of music does an android even like?
Early 21st century punk rock.
Hell yeah! She really likes it. She's positively drooling over it.
You mentioned Green Day to her, and she's just like, I really, really like the early stuff.
I liked them before they sold out, Adonai. Is that just you, or does that go for all androids?
I haven't met all androids. I can't speak for them.
You shouldn't profile like that, Morgan. Wonder what they'd say.
If they're smart, they'd say that music peaked with early 21st century punk rock.
Debate settled. That reminds me, this month I've been seeing that meme circulating of that one vine of the guy going, "Is this music? I love music," but it's Morgan. I love this part. Oh, the music stopped? I knew that. So I know the music's coming from here. It's coming from the green or from black? From the black? I love that. And like, how about we listen to some music? And Morgan's just holding up a CD, and then Sarah's like, it's like Sarah's gesturing like, give it to me, and then she just sticks it in her mouth, and the music starts playing. Yeah, I love this song. I love music. Alright. Appraise. A bar stocked full of colorful selections and busy bartenders. Hope this isn't the kind of club you can order food in. Only time bar food is any good is when you're drunk enough to forget the taste in the gap between chewing and swallowing. So you can, like, eat things?
Yes, I can. Sorry, I was thinking about some 41's fat lip.
What, like Android food?
Sorry. There is no such product.
So what do androids eat?
Online user guides for nobles or models clarify that they don't eat anything in the traditional sense. They get their energy from electrical charging, usually wireless. Whenever they need to eat, it's to replenish specific vitamins and electrolytes.
Sounds a lot like what mod users go through with their sports drinks and energy bars. And charger separation anxiety.
According to the net, warm androids can ingest nutrient-rich, processed carbohydrate pellets if they need to forego electrical charging long-term.
Processed pellets? You mean like kibble? Like dog food?
No, it is not like dog food. At all.
Can you buy it from the pet store?
It seems that you can.
Lamau. How's this something you have to look up anyway?
Because I've always just eaten whatever father gave me.
Like what?
Marbled beef, never hydroponic avocados, foie gras.
He gave Sarah foie gras?
That sort of thing.
I'm not paying for any of that. Hold on, I want to find this thing. I want to find this video and play it on the stream real quick. Alright, just that left. What kind of reading material gets left out in a club? A tabloid interview?
You want me to read this one?
Would you please?
Yes. Exclusive sit down with luxury. You've heard her name on everyone's lips, you've seen her face in magazines and commercials, and then double check to make sure the photos weren't labeled as edited. Now get all your burning questions about her answered here in our exclusive interview with the mysterious young woman who's being called, and perhaps the only truly unanimous vote the net's ever seen, the most beautiful woman in the world. Why the name? People think it's an ego thing, but it was just a random username I picked up back when I was in Grassroots. Then it was a pseudonym, to give me a little shade from all the attention. Now it's a brand, and I can't change it without setting the stock market into a spin. So...
Who is this about?
They didn't say. It's the most beautiful woman in the world. You're certainly influential. After partnering with you, Inti saw a 3,000% increase in share price.
Wow.
Yay! I'm happy for them, of course.
Yay!
But to be honest, it's a pain at times like this.
Yippee! That's a big number. That's a big number. That's good, right?
She gestures towards her clothes, a plain white t-shirt and gym shorts with no branding visible. On anyone else, it might seem sloppy or even unflattering. On her, it only makes her natural beauty stand out that much more. Who are you wearing, by the way?
Your scalp.
Can't wear anyone unless I'm attending something. If I don't dress like this, all my sponsors fall into bidding wars every time I leave the house. Does it stress you, all that attention? Stress is bad for your skin, right? They say mine's flawless. Can't argue with that. So, do you have a skincare routine? Any tips you'd like to share? Be a little bratty, act a little spoiled, keeps you young. And how old are you exactly? Everyone's dying to know. 18 to 29, now and forever. Don't get stuck on a cliffhanger like that. Hurry, log in below so you can read the rest. Quickly, time is running out.
Run, run, run! You gotta go! They're gonna kill you! Go, go, go! Run! Read it fast! Also, tee silly boys, I'm 17 forever! Okay, I found the video while you were reading that. Thank you. Full screen this.
Is this music? I can't get enough of that sweet music. Hey, how about we get some music on here, huh? There is music on? That's great. I love music. This is good. Is this animals? Instruments? That's great. If I ever have a kid, I'm gonna let him listen to music because music seems pretty fine to listen to. How about we turn on some music? I've turned off the music. I love this song. Put it where? I love this song. It's not playing. I love this song. This is my favorite part. The song's over. I know. Now I'm hearing the music coming from here. Is it from the green or from the black? From the black? I love it. I love hearing this. Can you hear this too? Or is it just, you can? That's great. Cool. Wow, music, you're sounding great and they can't hear me. That's too bad.
Oh, it can't hear me? Okay, that's sad.
I really love the. I really love this part.
I know. Now I'm hearing the music coming from here. Is it from the green or
from the green or the black?
From the black? I love that.
From the green, her hair? I'm easily amused. Okay. Well, however old she is or isn't, Luxury's got one hell of a mind for business. Oh, the person's name is Luxury. Okay. It's like Madonna. Gotcha. Might do her more good than that face in the end. Maybe. It's one hell of a face. In the meantime, she... Oh, signs that Morgan's gay. In the meantime, she's... powerless. Right?
It can kind of go either way. This one's kind of tough. Like, she...
Trapped between a rock and a hard place. If she steps out of line, her sponsors will bleed each other dry in bidding wars for her wardrobe's limited real estate. There's no skin off her back. She's already got more money than she could ever spend. Corporations can't afford to not keep growing. So they never reach a point where they can afford to lose. If she's smart enough to take advantage of that, good for her. Okay, yeah, that's him alright. Looks like he's killing time before he sets tonight.
Are you unsure how to proceed, Adonai?
I'm sure that you need to hang back. As for me, I'll... play it straight. Isaac Porter.
What's up?
My name's Morgan. I was David's friend. Right now, I'm his lawyer. Can we talk?
Depends. Were you a friend from work?
No.
Over here.
Thanks, Isaac.
Don't thank me yet. I might just sit here, shut my mouth, and stick you with my tab.
Q was a tier 5 programming language currently used mid 21st century. Okay. We already kinda knew that. Never Hydroponic is a movement calling for sourcing food exclusively from farms utilizing natural sunlight. Lobbyists for the movement have made unsubstantiated claims about superior taste or nutritional value, but the label has yet to receive official state recognition, as thus the presence of the terms or terms like it. Excuse me, you're welcome. Or terms like it on food packaging carries no weight and is not backed by any legal guarantee. One of a number of food sourcing movements that arose in the latter half of the 21st century as rising sea levels reduced the total amount of arable land around the world and shifted the global agricultural industry towards hydroponics and vertical farms. Rural skyscrapers where each floor is utilized for food production, saving on real estate costs and reducing the impact of unstable weather on agricultural output. Horrible. Let's look at Porter. Dog.
Birthday in
September 18th.
6 days.
Good for him. Blood type B positive. Hey, just like me. Musician, bassist. Itineraries, grilling, champagne. Man, he doesn't want to get interviewed for this murder shit. He just wants to grill, for God's sake. Dislikes resistance training, producers, and ads. Best at gift giving. Worst at folding laundry. Wow, he's just like me. I don't do requests.
Favorite quote for a musician ever.
I love giving people gifts, but I hate folding laundry. I even bought myself one of those little, you know that... It's like that little thing, that fold-up thingy that you place your shirt on, and then it just folds it up for you.
Or
And
at
like,
least has like the lines to show you how to fold it.
it's like a folding board.
Okay.
And it looks like this, Bray. One of those.
Oh, okay. I see.
Oh no, I got hit by the small spell.
Which has been smalled. Which is gone.
Wait, why am I facing the wrong way?
The marketable plushie has been placed towards chat.
How dare you? Oh wait, I know why. That's the wrong source. There we go. That's correct. Bah.
Now we can see the cute little shadow.
How dare you make me marketable?
If you were marketable, you'd also be advertiser friendly, and we can't have that.
I mean, look at me. I kind of am. I can be
So-
super cute.
So, what kind of lawyer are you? What kind of friend?
Thought you become pocket size, but backpack size is good too. Picks up the witch you put in my... Hey, don't stick me in there. I'm streaming. Fucker. You stick me in your... You zip me up in your backpack. I'm gonna eat all your granola bars, bitch. I'm his defense attorney.
Think you missed the bus on that, then. Yeah?
And I'm a friend that needs to know what happened yesterday.
Doesn't everyone?
That's what they're in there for, lol? Fuck you. Bitch. Affectionate.
Try somewhere else, friendly lawyer. I haven't seen him in weeks.
You might not have seen him, but we both know that you spoke with him over the phone yesterday. Only a short time before he died.
How the hell?
Isaac. It's pretty obvious you don't want this particular spotlight to linger on you any longer than necessary, so why don't we cut to the chase? No lies, no playing coy.
Fine.
You gotta go? Alright, Jasper, you have a good night.
Have a good night.
Sarah.
Yes, Adonai. The hell? Is that thing transmitting?
Oh yeah, his thing said he hated ads. He's a robo-racist.
I am not streaming any data, no.
Porter doesn't seem to recognize Sarah either. One more person David was keeping secrets from. I need to record everything for the court.
Fine.
You two were together, is that correct?
We were together. I ended it. Yesterday.
Oof. Oh. Care to elaborate?
On our entire relationship?
Look, you can tell me everything once, and I can get it on the record. Or you can hear the same questions over and over again from 1,000 different cops and megs for the next 3 months.
We met in a bar. I had seen him come in a few times. Each time with someone else. Each time talking with his mouth, but not looking with his eyes. It ticked me off. Scribbling on napkins and letting a single gin and tonic sweat onto the table for 2 hours. His dates would all go to the bathroom or take a call and slip out the back. One of them didn't make it 10 minutes. And he'd still sit there the rest of the night, unfazed.
Like they invited him, but like they invited him and he was so disinterested just doing work, and I was like, man, this is a bad idea, I'm gonna bail.
Couldn't tell if he was oblivious, or stupid, or shameless, or the most confident man in the world. And he ticked me off.
Ticked me off so much I had to fuck him.
Oh god, I can't not fuck him. One night, things were slow and my set had been canceled, and his date hadn't even bothered to think of an excuse before bailing. So, I asked him why he insisted on coming there night after night. Just to ignore vapid people he wasn't interested in at a shitty bar with drinks he didn't like. And he just said, "Because I like your music."
This man knows what he likes, and what he likes is bottom of the shelf convenience store swill. Thank you very much.
Man, did that tick me off. It was cute early on. Him being so passionate about work, I could barely pretend to understand. And I liked that we gave each other space, you know? Felt like we were being mature or whatever.
Until...
There was no until. No one day where everything turned sour. But at some point, I started to understand where his priorities were. And how I ranked in them. Like I said, he was passionate about his work.
and nothing else.
I would just wrongly assumed that he would also be that passionate about me at some point. So I pulled away a little. Wanted to see if he'd notice. If he'd miss me. Testing him. Like that isn't the biggest red flag in the world. He never budged. I could ignore him for days, and he wouldn't be the least bit ashamed to see me. If I picked a fight, he'd never get angry or upset. He'd just apologize. He didn't want to fight with me. Guess he was never invested enough to bother. It was my mistake. I watched him sit there all those nights, not giving a shit when people walked away. And still, I had this stupid idea that somehow, for whatever reason, I would be different. That I would be special. But I wasn't. So I ended it.
Last night.
I called him. Didn't expect he'd pick up. I had everything prepared to leave a message with an assistant or ad or whatever. But he answered. First ring. Without hesitation, shame, or awkwardness. And that ticked me off. So I told him exactly how valued he had made me feel the past few months. I told him exactly how insignificant I felt as the boyfriend of the illustrious Dr. David Asher.
And what did he say?
He apologized. And then he asked me if that was all I wanted to tell him.
Bruh! If he wasn't already dead, I'd slap this guy. Woof.
I hung up after that. Spent the rest of the night wrapped in warm disdain for him and his coldness. He had made that easy for me.
Yeah, understandable.
I went to sleep hurt, but clean, ready for something new. And then this morning I wake up to see that my ex killed himself not 2 hours after he let me walk out of his life without so much as a don't. What the hell, man? What the hell, David? And now you're just the tip of an iceberg of lawyers and reporters and buzzards. Parasites who want to hear about the man who sent David Asher over the edge. I never wanted to be his last lifeline, or the straw that broke his back. I just wanted to be his goddamn boyfriend. Turns out that was asking for too much.
It's yet to be determined whether David committed suicide.
Are you serious?
You don't have all the facts.
And you do? Any one of them point to anything else? Thought so.
Thanks for your time. I'll let you get back to it.
That's it? No summons?
The court has no need for you to retell a sad story like that.
The court, huh?
Sorry to bother you at work. Sarah, let's go.
Your discography is very impressive. Yeah, thanks. And your range is remarkable. So it pained me to see that all your works in the last quarter have been so melancholy. I think... Well, what the hell would you know about any of that? What's the matter? Can't find the words? Need to steal them from somewhere first? Butcher them before shitting them back out? I was not trained on any data sets that... Nah, pardon me, my mistake, really. Not your fault you're only standing here because rich prick nerds were allowed to rob the world blind for most of the century.
Sarah, we're leaving. Dude. Can't say that to her. She's just baby. What the hell is that about?
He was under the false impression that I was programmed using a massive, automated learning model, an early 21st century.
Not that. Why'd you talk to him?
I wanted to... I just felt that I should say something to him.
A word of advice. People don't want comfort from strangers, especially when they're androids.
Huh?
They want it from the people they want it from. Coming from anywhere else, it's just... corn syrup on a parched tongue. It doesn't matter how sweet it is, they'll just start gagging.
You know a lot about people, don't you, Adonai?
Compared to you, I'm a goddamn savant. Cute. Come on, there's not much time left.
Is there still somewhere you want to investigate?
Somewhere I need to return to, actually. Porter was right. As things stand, I don't have any evidence that could establish an alternative interpretation of the facts. But if there did exist hard evidence that could prove his death wasn't a suicide, there's only one place I could find it at this point. His body. Noble Employee Housing Building, Platea. Penthouse basement.
The basement. You sure you don't want another look at the crime scene?
I'm all out of time. Gotta approach this from the other angle.
The other angle?
You know, inductive versus deductive, flip the chessboard, and all that. Haven't you ever read a mystery novel?
I've seen mystery films.
Well, let's see if you paid any attention then. What killed David Asher?
Poison.
10 points.
There's a point system.
Now, how did that poison get into his bloodstream?
He must have ingested it orally.
And how do we know that?
The medical examiner found no injection marks or wounds.
And if he had inhaled it?
Inhaled it? Why,
Leave the whys to someone who actually understands them.
I won't be able to understand anything if I don't practice.
Practice by answering my question.
I suppose it's possible. But highly unlikely. We would have found a delivery system for it in the building, like an inhaler.
Right. An airborne poison is either shoved in your face or sprayed over a wide area. And no one around David has shown any kind of symptoms. So all we're left is oral intake.
Eliminating the impossible. What's next, Adonai?
Young's corroborated statement was that David didn't exhibit any irregular symptoms or behavior until he started drinking that night. And the police didn't find anything unusual in any of the food or drink in his home.
Except for his cup. The results were inconclusive.
Young was drinking from the same bottle in the same type of cup, but didn't get sick. We have to conclude then that David's cup alone was poisoned.
That all seems logical. And consistent with the police's theory of suicide. So, why are we down here?
Minus 10 points.
Back to 0?
David left the parlor and came back with whiskey and 2 cups. Young told us as much, and apparently the cameras upstairs support his story.
So, we have to conclude then that he got them both from this bar?
Better. 5 points. So happy over 5 points when she used to have 10. Did he also get the poison from the cabinet?
The police have been in here since we left. According to their ARCS file, they didn't find anything that matches that poison down here.
So the poison somehow went straight into his drinking cup then. I need to flip this around again.
But if you turn something 360 degrees, you're just back to...
If I were the prosecution, what would I want more than anything? Proof that David knowingly added the poison himself.
Morgan, do they call it the Xbox 360 because you do a 360 and then walk away? Sorry.
Only if
He
you're...
wouldn't do that.
Sarah, if you did a 360, you'd still be facing the Xbox.
But what about the mythical Michael Jackson moonwalk?
Minus 5 points. And you can make that claim because there's no video evidence to contradict you. How long was David off camera?
From 7:36 p.m. to 7:40 p.m. when he left the parlor to get liquor from this bar.
So if we had David on camera for those 4 minutes and he didn't poison himself in that time,
He would have a perfect alibi for the crime.
proving his innocence.
But Adonai, we don't have footage of that. There are no security cameras down here.
I think there are.
What do you mean?
This whole building is coated head to toe in Penumbra security systems, courtesy of Noble. Every console, every corner, every android on every floor, it's all plugged into Penumbra. Except that.
That panel is...
Manufactured by Cotter Security Systems. Why would David put a console for a different security system in exactly one corner of his penthouse?
I've never given it much thought.
Well, it's been bothering me all day. My curiosity alone can't scale a 64-digit wall.
You mean...
Signal hijacking, or whatever you want to call it. Have you tried it before?
It is illegal and unnecessary. Father would not. He would not have installed hidden cameras in his own home.
Unless he wanted to watch himself pee. At the end of the day, I can't make you do anything. Well, actually, I probably can now that you're registered to me. But aren't you the one who wanted to prove his innocence?
Eliminate the impossible. I will need your express verbal command.
Not like David can press charges against us at this point. Do it.
Microwave noises.
Beep, beep, beep. Oh, so going.
Something is bubbling in the background.
You start hearing the sounds of popping from popcorn. Did you really need me to say that?
For the purposes of record keeping, yes.
If you...
I've gotten past the 64-digit code, and I have found the cameras. There are a number of them embedded in the room's walls and ceilings. As you theorized, they are on a separate network from the rest of the building.
Where are they feeding to, if not the Penumbra system?
Behind my hibernation unit.
A false wall in the back of a safe.
I don't understand. Why would Father possibly have a hidden system of cameras inside his own home?
Whoops, didn't mute my phone. There we go. Beats me! It was brilliant, more than a little odd. Throw in a little money and odd becomes eccentric.
I see. I think.
I don't. The hell was he thinking? What was he afraid of? Why didn't he come to me for... Time's short. Gather facts now and leave the computation for later. So is that the original?
It was appraised and confirmed to be genuine.
At least he didn't get ripped off. I'm a Philistine when it comes to this kind of stuff. What does an android see?
I see a meeting. Or perhaps an encounter? Two apex forces of nature. Two kings of the forest. The stag and the tiger. I think.
Great. I'm officially less cultured than the robot.
I think the crack in the floor is another thing you can check.
Yeah, I'm looking at the painting myself.
Oh. I think it's pretty.
I see, like, a wave attempting to crash into a mountain. And the two forces, these two colossal forces clash in the middle. Their energies mixing. Clashing.
I think of it as like a raging storm ocean spilling into a volcano that has just breached the surface of the seawater and forming a new island.
Chaos trying to collide with order. I don't know.
I see Booba and Kiki.
Chat, which one do you think is Boba and which one is Kiki? What's the story with this anyway? Some kind of fault in the foundation?
I don't know. I've never noticed that crack before. I'm sorry, I'm getting a phone call from work.
It's okay.
Got asked if I wanted to come in tonight for work.
No. Might want to get those eyes checked.
There's nothing wrong with my vision. This crack just must have been created during my most recent hibernation.
How? Did David drop a weight? A bunch of times over and over in the same spot? Man must have tripped on his dick or something. What did David even do with all this equipment? Dry his laundry?
What makes you so sure he wasn't exercising?
Did you ever see him use any of this crap?
No, but he must have used the weights when I wasn't looking, since he promised me that he'd take better care of his health.
Sarah, these weights are all maxed out. David couldn't have put up numbers like these even if he was piloting a frame.
Don't be so sure, Adonai.
Pardon?
The following is a true story based on primary sources who were present for the event and its aftermath. Copenhagen, 1981,
Oh.
8:10 a.m. local time. A towering man with the musculature of a world-class professional rugby player enters the Global Donka Bank on Fredericksburg Lane. He explains to the bank teller that he has a bomb in his suitcase, and he wants his gym bag filled with unmarked bills. A security guard approaches him from behind with a nightstick and swings. But the man simply catches the weapon and bends it into a twisted knot with his massive, dinner plate-sized hands.
Alright.
When asked to describe the suspect to the police afterwards, the teller only had this to say.
Flippity floopity doopa boopa doo.
That man was all muscle.
And I wasn't even close.
The rest of the bank heist proceeds without incident as the man exits the building just as police arrive on the scene, when suddenly his suitcase explodes. But it's just a smokescreen. Local officers quickly recognize the ploy and rush towards the door, grabbing each of the hostages as they flee while desperately searching for the perpetrator. What they find instead is a diminutive, frail, sheepish young man, barely 160 centimeters tall, holding a gym bag full of money with no recollection of how he got there. Renowned psychologist and trained hypnotist, Dr. Werner Kurtzer, wrote the following in his diagnosis. Acute dissociative identity disorder. That's right, the man had a split personality. And so great was the disparity between his two halves that when they switched control, he physically changed, becoming taller, bulkier, and capable of previously unthinkable feats of strength.
That's not how... that's not how DID works.
So be careful what you say a man like Father can't do just because of how he looks on the outside.
Real life isn't like James McAvoy in Split.
I was gonna say, I think Sarah's just thinking about the movie Split too hard.
Have you seen Split, Adonai? It is my favorite movie in the Glass trilogy.
It is my favorite documentary.
Shut. Adonai, I used to think my life was a comedy, but now I realize it is a documentary. Sarah, every single word you just said was false.
Huh?
Don't believe everything you read on the net. Dejected Ace Attorney music sting. Oh, okay, for a second I thought the game was glitching. The liquor cabinet this mystery hinges on. The police have been through it all by now. They didn't find foreign contents in any of the spirits. No poison to be found here. Well, not that kind of poison anyway. In which case, can I make you anything?
Well, if you're offering, I'll have...
Sorry, you're way underage, aren't you? 2 years old or whatever?
Technically?
Took that one a lot worse than I expected. Cheer up, maybe you'll find a mocktail if you climb to the top of the ladder.
This is a rolling ladder, a kind of step ladder, not a ladder.
Nice Ace Attorney reference. What?
Remember, a ladder extends, but a step ladder folds out.
And?
It's important to know the distinction.
I'd bet my life savings that this subject will never come up again. Ever. Alright, let's refocus here. So there's some kind of hidden door behind your bunk bed, huh?
Essentially, though a bunk bed would imply a second or third.
How do we open it?
One moment. Microwave noises. I see.
Beep, beep. Got it open already?
I cannot open this door.
It would have been funnier if she was doing the winky smiley face. I cannot open this door. Why?
It is a Tethys Basics Sturdicure.
That anti-hack feature in the name is real?
It's a closed system, Adonai.
The hell am I supposed to do now?
Strange. There was an if-then toggle enabled in the security parameters.
I don't follow.
When Father last adjusted the settings here, he made it so that the door would never open so long as I was hibernating.
He made it so that I was the only one who could wake her up. Meaning this is a door that only I can open?
It'll be a 6-character password, some combination of numbers or letters.
Sorry about that. 6 letters, huh? Like Morgan.
Did you and Father have any influential moments in your life that revolved around a 6-letter word?
Oh, also... The spell is broken.
Which big size again?
Normal big. Nothing comes to mind. Is there a code word that he knew only I could learn? Oh, right, that's it.
M-O-R-G. Was that your name you just tried?
It's 6 characters, isn't it?
Yes. But it's not exactly secure, Adonai. Anyone who knew you and Father were close could have tried guessing it.
But they'd also have to... They would also have to know the password to get into the safe, or know that there was a safe there. So, you know...
Well, anyone could then realize, oh, like the police came down here, so they'd be like, oh, Morgan opened this. Put in Morgan's name. Oh, okay, cool, I'm in now. This room is like not secure from anyone but Morgan.
And then they get to the security black box. They look at the video and see that, oh, David didn't poison himself.
They see, oh no, David had something else. Was there some word that only the two of you knew? A nickname?
Pretty much everyone just calls me Morgan. But not everyone. Oh?
Would you like a better hint?
I was gonna check my phone and read the text with my mentor.
I don't think that's going to help. You also can't check that. What is a 6-letter word?
No dice.
Could it be your birthday?
Oh, right.
Or his?
What was the date that we met?
It wasn't said. You also don't have the year for anyone.
Oh, wait. Damn it. Alright, what's your hint? David set the password to something as dumb as that. I'd never forgive him.
As you say, Adonai.
No, he would have picked a code whose significance was only obvious after the fact.
So, the hint I can give you. Jeez, I'm sorry. Oh.
No, that's too many. That didn't work either.
Perhaps a deep breath would help you refocus, Adonai.
It's not like I'm taking a multiple choice test, Sarah. Either I know the answer or I don't.
I see. So do you know the answer, Adonai?
I'm getting there. Okay, spit it out.
What is the name that Sarah refers to you as?
Oh, of course.
It's opening. What was the password, Adonai?
You'd never guess.
You get an achievement if you guess that first try.
Fuck. Okay,
I don't know if there's... Oh, well, you're playing a high roller, so you can't load back.
Damn it. Did feel a bit out of character, David utilizing so much cloak and dagger tech. And I'd definitely been struggling with the idea of him doing home improvement. But one step in here and it all makes sense. It's a panic room.
Scary.
Panic room is a place for rich people to hide in when people start bouncing bricks off their windows. They're typically not even on the blueprints.
So when Noble built this penthouse for one of their executives...
Someone slipped this into the mix, and it's remained in Noble's blind spot ever since. All David had to do was repurpose it. Make sure you're capturing all this. I don't want to miss my one chance because of a discovery technicality.
I understand, but you needn't specify. My memory is flawless. I can play back visuals, sounds, sensations. I can even give detailed reports on air particulates.
You mean you can smell?
Better than any human and some canines.
So does it smell stale in here to you?
Stale?
It doesn't to me. Almost like someone's been in here recently. Almost like someone visits here frequently. Alright, let's try booting up the computer.
You don't think the console is password protected?
2 physical doors, a 64-digit code, and a half-ton android, and a security secret phase. If David set a password on his PC after all that, I'm going back to the morgue to have a word with him. Good, it's already signed in.
You're looking for camera footage?
I'd also settle for a note plainly stating that he feared for his life. What am I doing? Here, you search for video files. They'll probably be timestamped and formatted for short-range devices.
I have the subfolder.
Beep.
The cameras stream live data constantly, but the files are clipped at fairly regular intervals. Once every week, it seems. The most recent video file here has footage going back 8 days. It was accessed yesterday at around 4 p.m.
You were asleep then, so the only person who could get in here at that time is David himself. Alright, let's see it then.
Of course. It's just that I am having difficulty.
Try double-clicking.
I have been trying to open the files from the moment I discovered them, Adonai,
So did you
but they are encrypted.
So did you try double-clicking? Damn it, David. You leave me enough clues to get this far, but you won't let me use your computer? What's the brand on the encryption program? If I rush a subpoena, they might have a back door I could bluff them into.
These files were not encrypted with any commercially available tool. This appears to be Father's own work.
Shit. If David Asher handwrote the encryption on these files, there's no one alive who could... Hey, was Dawes just flattering you back there? Or is your processing power really that special?
Adonai,
Can you break his encryption, yes or no?
with enough time,
And how much time would that be?
I would estimate it at 2 to 6 hours.
That's a 4-hour window!
No matter how sophisticated, encryption is still just a code that must be deciphered. And when deciphering any code, progress proceeds exponentially. Which makes it particularly difficult to determine the amount of time required to complete the process.
2 to 6 hours. I don't have any better options. Get started.
I started 4 minutes and 23 seconds ago.
Now 24. 25. 20... Shut up. Finally showing some initiative.
Adonai, do you know what's funnier than 24?
What?
25. Do you know what's funnier than 25?
Minus 10 points. But you've been talking to me this whole time.
I have the ability to analyze data in parallel by utilizing subconscious processes, so long as the work required is rote.
So you're doing it in the back of your head?
Actually, I'm speaking to you in the back of my head. I could give the decryption process my full, undivided attention, but I would become non-responsive.
Adonai, for maximum performance, I must go non-verbal. Hey, that's a pretty nifty feature. I'll have to keep that in mind.
Progress slowing due to anger response. You have to buy me ice cream now to speed up the process.
It would cool
It's
off
purely for cooling purposes, I tell you.
It would do... It would do wonders in cooling down my core processors, Adonai.
My favorite is rainbow sherbet. It's like my hair.
With gummy bears sprinkled on top. And caramel drizzle. Alright, can you take this show on the road? Or do we have to rip this computer out of the wall and find a battery?
I have copied the encrypted files and will work on them as we travel. We can leave whenever you're ready.
Still can't believe David let me get this far just to shut the door in my face at the last second. But he did let me get this far. And the computer's not the only thing in here. The cabinets are a lot less eye-catching than his computer, but knowing David, that's all the more reason to check. Lots of paperwork, bonds and holdings, a platinum bar? Oh, so I saw platinum and hope the next line said chip.
Ain't that a kick in the head?
I guess the game really was rigged from the start. His birth certificate might be nearly as valuable. Can't imagine what people would pay to steal David Asher's identity. Yeah, of a dead person whose death has been broadcasted all over the place, so if anyone tried using his identity, they'd know, hey, you're faking it.
It's so you can give his identity to another dead relative and then claim to be related to him. Would be like the way I would do it.
Man, fraudsters are evil. And down here at the bottom, a binder. I knew it! He's binding his chest! Trans. Wait, he'd be doing that if he's Cynimax. Not the. Never mind. Noble's logo in the front. In the middle, enough pages to dwarf one of those phone books you see in period pieces. They're masking it in legalese, even on the table of contents. But basically, this is his employment contract. Binder containing the full text of David Asher's employment contract with Noble Electronics. Details, compensation, grounds for dismissal, definitions of what constitutes a breach of contract, and how arbitrations would be handled. Not a light read. Hold on to this for me.
It must be very important if you're giving it to me.
It's certainly very heavy.
Was there anything else in there?
Expecting an updated copy of his will to show up?
It is a possibility, isn't it?
Oh, I forgot to read that. L.
You can go to log.
Maybe in a corny old murder mystery.
A widely beloved and respected genre with over 2 centuries of...
There is something else. Your papers.
That Evangeline Morgan be given immediate and complete ownership of the android designated Sarah.
It's dated to a few weeks back. Had he already made up his mind about all of this? If he had, why'd he hide this where no one else could find it? Is that just a backup plan? Well, at least we've got something a bit more concrete than Starling's word now.
Her word should be plenty, shouldn't it?
Not if people realize how precious you are. Aww.
I'm a precious little android?
Don't expect any head pats. As a collector's item.
You're not making it out of the courtroom with this one.
We ain't making out another with this one, Minecraft Steve. We've yet to meet one person who knows what the hell you are. But Noble could have easily argued that you fall under private technology or physical holdings. Unless I had something like this.
It's good that you do, then. I'm glad that Father wanted me to go with a friend of his.
Yeah. This will get me a huge tax write-off when I donate you to a for-profit college.
You could at least pick a charitable institution.
It's just an old saying. All colleges have been for-profit since the 60s.
That doesn't make me feel any better.
can cheer up in the car. Hails a ride to the courthouse. Priority.
There is an upcharge at this hour for priority transportation.
That's irritating. But I like to have more than just a few minutes to prepare once we get there.
The upcharge is a multiplier of 5.7.
I'll prepare on the way over.
Very good, Adonai.
"5:48 p.m., July 1st, 2086.
Does it excite you going into courtrooms?
What do you mean?
You don't feel the tension in the air as the audience murmurs amongst themselves? So excited. You don't feel a fiery sense of justice rising in your gut as the prosecution smirks at your ragtag assembly of witnesses?
Do you really think this is gonna be like some kind of movie where the good guys save the day?
Probably not. Though that would be nice if it were.
What's your deal anyway? Did David train you off of a movie marathon from hell or something?
We did watch films together, if that's what you're asking, though he was rarely the one who suggested it.
So you were the aggressor. What's an android get out of watching a flick anyway?
What do I get?
Why do you do it? What's your reason?
I'm not sure how to answer your question.
Never mind. Forgot what I was talking to.
I like the performances.
Sure, there you go. Got a crush on Humphrey Bogart or something?
He's a handsome man.
There I got with her head glowing.
But it's not the actors I like as much as their performance. You're an auto, by the way.
Well,
the truth is,
how did that happen?
Besides, when you probably hit the buttons to, there you go. When you hit the buttons to screenshot. The truth is where we left off. The truth is, besides father, I have very little experience when it comes to people.
I hadn't noticed.
I read the net, and I watch people and what they share of their lives. But it's also subtle, so hard to follow. There are so many unspoken rules that can't be taught, only learned, and I often struggle to grasp them. You're all so complex, so detailed. But the characters on screen are exaggerated, larger than life. The actors enunciate. Their body language is precise and meaningful.
That's a cute picture you sent me.
Their faces are bright and softly lit, and their eyes are It's fiction.
It's fiction.
So these
We made it
characters
up.
and their... Sorry.
Sorry, you continue.
It's fiction. So these characters and their stories, they have a beginning, a middle, and end.
It's fiction. We made it up.
The points don't matter.
Not this time. We made it up. It's false. Pure fiction.
It's a story that never happened. And the people
Not this
on
time.
screen don't ask anything of you except your attention.
My attention is precious and few, though.
You can't disappoint them or make them feel awkward. You can just watch and learn. But what about you, Adonai?
What about me?
Do you like movies?
Yeah, sure. Back when I was a kid.
Really? Who was your favorite director? What was your favorite film?
It was a long time ago. I don't remember. How old are you, Morgan? 605. State Building. Floor 48.
One thing I do want to point out was that was Morgan in front of the TV as a kid that we were looking at.
Mm-hmm.
And I like the idea of Morgan having this like personality disorder that makes her unable to relate to other people and has to learn all of her personality tics from movies.
Yeah, she's like a...
Sociopath, I think is the word.
Yeah, she's a characteristic... No, that's not the word. Textbook sociopath. Things are quieter than expected here at the courthouse. Though I've always felt courthouse is a bit of a misnomer. Government building is probably the best way to describe these towers. These towers all-encompassing and impenetrably vague. 100 floors of officials and documents and paper-pushing queues. With a couple dozen courtrooms squeezed in along the way. Didn't think I'd be arguing in court when I woke up today. Didn't think that my friend would be dead, or that he'd have thrust an android into my lap either. I could just walk in there and concede. Emma would be irritated, and more than a little confused, but I could play it off as an exercise in grief. The android would complain, loudly of course, but I wouldn't have to listen to it. Now that it's registered in my name, I could probably just order the damn thing to reset its memory. But I haven't done that. And I guess I don't plan to. Why? It must be because I have my suspicions as well. Sarah insists David would never commit suicide, and I haven't actually stopped to ask myself whether or not I agree. David was rational, subdued, private, hard on himself. Hard on. I can turn that into a meme later. Hang on, I need to open my second drink.
Okay.
I have a strawberry banana body armor. Hashtag not sponsored.
Stop, Beppy.
I fill my work cup with it and drink it throughout the day. Keeps me electrolyted. Anyway. And not prone to emotional outbursts. To me, that's why I'm finding myself outside a courtroom, prepared to humor and add suspicions before the state. Because I don't really believe David killed himself either. What's your progress bar at?
I can confirm that I am making progress.
Well, shit, let's not get ahead of ourselves.
But it would be difficult to summarize that progress in terms of a completion percent.
Yeah, you could. Computers do that all the time.
But they lie.
Give it your best shot anyway.
4%.
Bitch.
Are you feeling confident in your case?
Markedly less so after hearing that.
Do you think the judge will be amenable to your argument?
What are you talking about?
Do you know the judge we've been assigned? Are they particularly lenient or strict?
Sarah wishes we were getting the judge from Ace Attorney. Adjutants are always a coin flip, so... You do know what an adjutant is, don't you?
Bleh.
Good noise. Are you expecting to see a bearded old man with a robe and gavel when we get in there?
Should I not?
Adjutants are android judges, okay? With all the authority that entails.
I am surprised to hear that people are willing to accept rulings made by automated dependents.
Rulings come from landmark cases in the higher courts. Those are passed down by actual judges, real people, with decades of study and experience. But not every eviction case or traffic ticket that ends up in court requires years of legal expertise. Sometimes all you need is a referee and a sentencing algorithm.
So, androids are used to reduce caseload.
Been that way for decades.
But how was a law that replaces judges ever enforced? Wouldn't there be injunctions? Stalling?
Judges did fight it for years, at every level, and in every theater. But the public lost their patience for that kind of obstruction during the 60s. The state needed to shred budgets across the board. So judges that couldn't be replaced by years of legal battles were instead ushered into early retirement by the unrelenting force of our great nation's accountants.
And it's not controversial having machines determine sentencing for human beings.
Whatever controversy there is, it gets aimed at the machines, not the people who put them there. And the machines can't lose sleep over it. Besides, it used to be that even the most high profile of crimes wouldn't get a court date until weeks or months later. Nowadays, most crimes are prosecuted within a single business week.
And that's not rushing things.
Keeps people in my line of work on their toes, that's for sure.
I'm just surprised to hear that there's so much haste.
Don't they teach you about classical conditioning in android school? You gotta feed the dog immediately after you ring the bell. Punishment doesn't follow the crime in quick succession, the lesson doesn't stick.
I see. But if adjutants are so effective, why aren't they used in every trial? Why aren't they used in politics?
That's a logical question to ask.
And the answer is...
That logic only gets you so far when it comes to people.
Doesn't everyone want the courts to be as just as possible? If adjutants are truly impartial and incorruptible,
Everyone wants justice, sure. There are other considerations to be had.
such as
Quit stalling. Let me get into the courtroom. Disgust.
what?
That's all people really care about. What all their morals boil down to. Just what they do or don't find disgusting. Only problem is, everything's more palatable when viewed through a screen. So when everyone sees the world through AR and cameras, and no one ever gets dirt under their fingernails, you'd be surprised what you can get away with.
I don't understand.
Yeah, well, therein lies the problem. July 24 p.m. I mean, 6:24 p.m. Shut up! I'm a teensy bit dyslexic.
It's okay.
Courtroom 48D. Emma! Hi, hello, hi, hey. Just a preliminary hearing, huh? You wouldn't know it from the look on her face. But I shouldn't have expected any leeway once we stepped into the courtroom. Not with her.
That's the adjutant up there. Is it asleep?
It's loading.
It needs to load?
Don't be rude. Not every ad can afford to be decked out as extravagantly as you. Especially not those the state buys in bulk.
There's an audience.
You mean the gallery? That's nothing. It could have been a lot worse. Word of any trial in the case of David Asher's death must have spread like wildfire. Even a mock trial like this one. Detectives like Reyes or London would get chewed out for leaking things to the press. But uniformed officers have little to lose and a lot to gain by dropping a text to their attentive friends in the media. And then there's the corporate plants. Interns usually, preferably ones with modded eyes. It's illegal to film inside a courtroom, but this is the year 2086. Things are gonna get out one way or another. I don't like having my face on camera. I don't like attention in general. But I'm not such a coward that I'd skip David's funeral just because there'd be paparazzi outside of it. My pretty little likeness was gonna end up in the background of some tabloid photograph one way or another by the end of this circus. At least this way, it's decent marketing for my legal services.
What will happen once the adjutant finishes loading? How will the trial proceed?
With all those films you watch, I figured that you could extrapolate.
I am asking so as to correct any misconceptions.
Well, not everything you saw on the silver screen is outdated. The court will come to order and there will be a clarification of the charges. The defense enters a plea, and if it's not guilty, the prosecution begins making their case.
That means calling witnesses to the stand, correct?
Mostly. Sometimes they'll testify virtually from a separate location. I wonder if they did that during the height of the pandemic lockdown.
Yes, they did.
Remote testimony?
Well, what they would do is you would report to the courthouse and they would have you basically WebEx in from basically a side office at the courthouse.
I thought you were going to say like
So the only people in the actual courtroom would be the lawyers and judge and jury.
I thought you were gonna say like the witness. They put a glass box around the witness stand like the Pope Mobile, so they didn't
No.
get germs.
There's a few.
Oh, hydrate.
There's a few bits of cases I've watched from COVID era, and you see that occasionally. But most of the time, like they would just have like minimum people there, and just everyone would be masked up.
Thanks, Deacon. Depends on the security concerns surrounding the particular individual in the case.
What do you do then? Sit here and watch?
Not if I want to get paid. I cross-examine witnesses after the prosecution are done questioning them. I can present evidence or witnesses of my own in response, as long as I have discovery backing me.
You've said that before. Discovery means...
Just that I can't pull stuff out of my pockets and present it without any kind of context. I have to have proof that I acquired it legally during the course of my investigation. Most of the time, that means having recordings or witnesses that can verify my investigation.
which I can provide.
You didn't think I was letting you tag along because I liked you, did you?
And
That's
the jury,
cold.
I don't see where they would sit. I like that the courtroom looks like a mix of like an actual courtroom and fucking Evangelion Sealy meeting.
It's like a mix of the Ace Attorney and Danganronpa courtrooms, trial
Fair.
rooms. Everyone's in a circle and they got a big audience with the judge in the middle. Jury hasn't sat in the actual courtroom for years now. They have their own chamber. They have their own chambers where they watch a feed of the trial's proceedings in anonymity. Anonymity.
And that's not an issue. Don't people want to look someone in the eye before passing judgment on them?
You've got an old-fashioned sense of justice, don't you? But there's no jury at a preliminary hearing anyway. It's only meant to evaluate whether or not the prosecution has enough evidence to go to trial. A mere formality in today's day and age. With tools like optics and arcs, there's never any shortage of evidence to work with.
So, all you have to do today is convince the adjutant.
Easier said than done. Adjutants lean heavily towards evidence over arguments. Right now, all the evidence suggests that David killed himself. If it's going to be an uphill battle, I can't afford to stumble. I need to focus on establishing an alternative interpretation of the facts, and it needs to be solid. But I don't have a suspect or even a motive for killing David. Yet. Anyway, I'll need to be sharp. Emma doesn't play nice enough for me to be anything less.
I think it's waking up.
This third lower court is now in session. Adjutant Ad 84 presiding. I call to order the case of the people versus Asher. Ooh-woo? Oh, whoa? What's this? Evidence? Do the people wish to make an opening statement? No, Your Honor. Would you like to take over for the adjutant?
Sure.
No, Your Honor. No point in bothering when it's just the adjutant here.
Very well. Do the defense wish to make an opening statement?
Not at this time, Your Honor. Might as well ring the bell and get this shit show start.
If neither the people nor the defense wish to make an opening statement, then it falls to me to set the stage.
Compass arisen. 8084 rules. I like your style.
My model name is Adjutant. My unit designation code is AD_84. I am a machine, an automated dependent, and I serve the state by presiding over trials.
For a second, I was gonna say the heartbeat lines up with this thing in the back spinning, but no, it doesn't. It misaligned now. Whose heart is beating?
You might find yourself wondering, why?
Why?
What gives
Why?
a machine what? The right to judge a human? A fair question, but the answer is simple.
Teehee.
In every culture, in every society, no matter how it is worshipped, enshrined, or deified, justice has one defining quality. Justice is beautiful.
Oh.
Like a balanced equation, like the golden ratio, like the Vitruvian man. Justice is beautiful. So what gives me the right? This gorgeous bod!
Bimbo.
Bina loves this character so much.
I feel like her and Bobby Fulbright would get along very well. In justice we trust! Huh.
Whatever, forget it. Forget I said anything. I was just trying to lighten the mood, but I can see everyone hates me.
Oh, she's so quirky.
Do the trial without me, they're guilty or whatever.
She turns around, and she turns around and her long hair is parted by her big fat ass. If only. Your Honor.
Wait, what the flip?
What the scallop?
This defendant's already dead.
Why does a robot need to pick her nose?
Why are we doing this? Is this a debug thing? Because I'll log the error if I need to.
No, Your Honor. This is a preliminary hearing to determine whether David Asher did in fact commit suicide, as he...
I get it. You want to make sure he wasn't cuckoo in the cranium before you cut up his will like a T-bone.
That was a good reading of Humu Humu. I like that.
Humu. I didn't realize that adjutants were so lively.
They aren't. They're supposed to be austere and statuesque. Looks like we got served the most in need of repairs adjutant the court system could find. Whatever paper pusher we rushed to get this trial going must have wanted a little payback for the kindness.
What's that look for? Could it be your...
Positively smitten over me?
trying to size me up?
Wouldn't dream of it, Your Honor.
Good. Because if you have any doubts about my ability to run this trial...
I'll kill you, teehee.
I could always enact summary judgment here and now. I'm sure you'd find my ruling to be fair and even-handed.
That won't be necessary, Your Honor. She's much more of a character than I'm used to seeing up there. even counting all the flesh and blood judges I've met. But she's still just an adjutant. She'll follow the evidence where it leads. So as long as I can make a few adjustments for the occasional outbursts from the bench, my plan's still workable.
So, people, shall we get started with that first witness?
Right away, Your Honor. The people called Dr. Yumi Sato to the stand. OMG, her!
It's Yumi.
Oh? Hey.
So, how about it, pretty lady? You swear to tell the whole and unadulterated truth to the best of your ability?
I do. Shit, I guess.
Good enough for me.
Dr. Sato, you were in charge of the autopsy for David Asher, were you not? I was. And when did you make your examination? I started last night. Well, technically 1 a.m. would be very early this morning. I think you can still say last night if you're talking about 1 in the morning. Objection! The defense will have their opportunity to cross-examine. Until then, they should refrain from making errant remarks. The hell? All I said was...
Yeah, what she said.
This pose really makes her look like a Rhythm Heaven character.
Yes.
For some reason. Or like WarioWare. You mean sustained?
Don't get cute with me, counselor.
Ugh! That's not fair.
Being cute is my job.
I couldn't even... You just made me lose a chip on purpose. What the fuck? God damn, we've barely gotten started.
That seemed pretty bad, Adonai.
Making mistakes will increase your blind. Blind is how much credit you'll lose for answering incorrectly when you yourself aren't controlling the ante. Blind increments on its own throughout the trial as the stakes get higher, but resets at the end of each day. Blind starts at and caps out at a higher number if you're playing the high roller. Mind the blind number in the top left when it appears. Blind -1. Oh, that's a cute card. I need to have Of the Devil themed playing cards. I probably never use them, but I want to have them. So blind is -1. It helps you gauge what you stand to lose.
We should try to avoid being penalized in the future.
Thanks for the tip. Shake it off. I'll get my chance to raise objections of my own soon enough. Dr. Sato, were you able to determine the cause of death? He passed away due to respiratory failure. Could you explain what that means to the court? Essentially, he wasn't getting enough oxygen to his blood. Seems by the time he arrived at the hospital, he was no longer breathing. What does respiratory failure look like? What are the symptoms? There would be lightheadedness, dizziness, fainting, pale skin, and a bluish tinge around certain extremities. And the condition he was in matched those symptoms? Correct. In your experience, what are the most common causes of respiratory failure? It can be caused by injury or disease, but the subject had no wounds or reported illnesses and otherwise appeared to be perfectly healthy. And what else could cause respiratory failure then? It's also commonly seen in fatal drug overdoses. Drug overdoses. Did you perform a tox screen on Dr. Asher? Yes, but his tox screen came back clean. Whatever killed him wasn't something we've encountered before. Wait, a clean tox screen? Clean? Dialogue will proceed automatically during testimony, but you can still choose to advance text manually with continue. You'll need to read carefully and wait for the witness to make a statement that sounds wrong. Then hit the call button to call their bluff. Hover over the call button or toggle on Insight to focus on the claims within a witness statement. Insight can be disabled in settings. So it is going to be like... So it is like Danganronpa. I have to choose the right moment.
Yep. You need to choose the right moment, and then you get a very short amount of time to select the right argument. If you take too long, you'll lose some chips, and then it'll loop you back again.
You lose chips and the blind increases?
Correct.
Testimony will loop until you call. Can't let this chance slip by. I need to catch her mistake the second it comes out of her mouth. David's contract.
I think... Can you click on them right now or no?
Written document declaring that Evangeline Morgan is to be given absolute ownership of the android Sarah, effective immediately. Signed and dated by David Asher for 2 weeks ago. Tax-free transaction, fortunately. Whiskey. Bottle of Rose River. Why do I always fumble with that? Rose River. Hits you with rolled up newspaper. Bottle of Rose River whiskey found on the dining table at the scene of the crime. Forensic analysis shows no foreign elements or toxins, known to be a brand favored by the deceased. David's contract. Right. Binder containing the full text, national employment, the details, compensation, grounds for dismissal, definitions for what constitutes a breach contract, and how arbitration will be handled. Light read. And upright cup. Plastic cup with a small amount of whiskey left in it, found upright on the dining table at the scene of the crime. Saliva and fingerprints match Helen Young. Contains no trace of foreign elements. Subject passed away due to respiratory failure. Essentially, he wasn't getting enough oxygen into his blood. He would have experienced lightheadedness, dizziness, then fainting. As the subject was healthy, respiratory failure must be attributed to a drug overdose. When toxin was run at the hospital, it came back clean. It was puzzling to say the least. Some shit just now doesn't make sense.
You don't get penalized for letting it loop.
I know.
You also get a slight hint, so.
And I'm just rereading the evidence that was provided. There's no foreign elements or toxins. I have evidence that directly contradicts her, so I just need to find the right moment to present it.
Do you need a reminder because it's been a bit?
Whiskey, his contract in the upright cup.
I think I know which piece of evidence it is, but there is a detail that you might not be remembering, so I just want to ask.
Go ahead.
What did she say about the talk screen when you interviewed her?
It was a
Do you remember?
drug they hadn't seen before.
Yeah, there was an unidentified substance, but she didn't say anything about that on the stand.
Mm-hmm.
And it was in the, it wasn't in the whiskey, it was in...
It was in the cup. After choosing to call in a statement, you need to respond with evidence. Look over the 3 cards that show up and confirm your card before the timer runs out.
Time's running out. I
Fuck.
told you it's not long.
I was gonna present the whiskey.
Opened your mouth without thinking, huh? There's only room for one end hairhead in this courtroom, and it's not you. It's me!
At least she's self-aware. Of course, Your Honor. So I'll present the whiskey at that. Wanna bet? It's impossible for David Asher's talk screen to be clean, and we all know it, since he was on camera drinking alcohol the night that he died.
Ah!
Me when I see the spider.
That makes sense.
And that scared you? The witness merely misspoke, Your Honor. As it plainly states in the tox report itself, Dr. Asher did have alcohol in his blood, but not at such a concentration as to be lethal. Yeah, my bad. When I said the tox stream was clean, I just meant I didn't tell the attending physicians anything they didn't already know. Overall, a little more nitpicky than I'd like to be, but at least I was able to balance the momentum, more or less. Shall we continue, Dr. Sato? If the tox screens were negative for pharmaceuticals and drugs, what caused Dr. Asher's respiratory failure? During my autopsy, I analyzed his blood and was able to isolate a foreign compound. So there was a lethal dose of a drug inside his body. It just happened to be a drug that the hospital had never encountered before. That's correct. I think we're all going to get tired pretty fast if we don't at least pick a placeholder name for this substance, Your Honor. The people don't object, Your Honor.
In that case, I'll put all my creative heuristics to work, coming up with an original, scientific, fitting name for this substance. A name like Omega. Three. That name is already taken. Fine. Call it Delta or whatever.
Gotta pick the... Whatever, call it Delta, I don't care. I gotta pick these robo boogers. Delta, used in science to denote an unknown variable. Not bad. Delta has other meanings when it comes to drugs. But yeah, our Delta matches no known public pharmacology or toxicology records. That being said, chemically, it does have all the hallmarks of a general depressant.
I know the feeling.
So stands the reason that it would exhibit a similar effect on the body when ingested. You say ingested. Why? I eliminated all other possibilities during my examination of the body. He must have swallowed it, and judging from his stomach contents, it must have been a liquid. Thank you, Dr. Sato. Shall I summarize things for the court?
Yes, please. I wasn't listening that closely.
The victim died of respiratory failure, and his tox screen showed that his blood was clear of anything that could cause respiratory failure, except for this unknown substance, the poison we've labeled Delta.
Well, that sounds like a textbook suicide. Should we wrap it up here?
Not quite yet, Your Honor. This may clearly be a poisoning, but there's at least one detail about this case that doesn't feel like a suicide at all. Drank the day before he died didn't seem at anything corroborated by camera footage. The whiskey again?
What about the whiskey says it's not a suicide?
There's no... Young, she didn't see him do anything. The people shouldn't get ahead of themselves. There's nothing textbook about a supposed suicide that had a witness sitting there watching it happen. As you say.
Well, now I'm lost. Was this a poisoning? Was this poisoning a suicide or not?
Bet if we said with enough confidence, no, it wasn't, she'd just be like, oh, okay. It wasn't then. Case closed.
Don't worry about that, kitten. Okay. Yay!
Okay, yay! If that's the case, then perhaps we should give the defense the opportunity to cross-examine. Unless they're going to insist on testifying themselves. How kind of you to offer. Ball's in my court now, so how do I counter? Emma's argument basically goes as follows. David ingested the Delta knowingly, and the Delta causes respiratory failure. He died of respiratory failure, thus David committed suicide. I mean, if he was trying to kill himself, wouldn't he want to choose a method that was less drawn out and possibly painful or unpleasant?
I mean, it's basically just he's suffocating slowly.
Yeah, that's
but
awful.
He also, like, is almost asleep through the whole process too. So it's not
almost asleep means
horrible, but people overdose on drugs all the like.
Almost asleep
people
means
overdose pretty regularly sometimes. I shouldn't say that.
Almost asleep means he wasn't asleep.
Yes. Overdosing is a known suicide method. So
yeah, with known drugs like that shit. I don't know. During blackjack, every piece of information you learn deals you a card. Choose only the questions that are logical and relevant, and only press if you think a line of questioning is worth continuing. Or else you'll go bust and lose credit.
You will lose subscriber.
Adonai, you just posted cringe. You're going to lose subscriber.
Your social credit has been deducted.
I don't even have a credit card, though. Select the press option to see what the follow-up question would be. You can only win blackjack when you reach exactly 21. 21. Thank God I
don't got that in it.
Thank God I don't got that red 21 in there. 21. So press further if you're already there. Don't ask the wrong questions. Don't suck. On a cross-examination, I need to put a microscope over the weakest part of that argument. I hope that some cracks will appear under pressure. Pushing down on me. Are you sure Delta's to blame? Are you sure it was respiratory failure? Are you sure it was ingested? Dr. Sato, you said that the subject had to have ingested the Delta orally. But how sure can we actually be about that? Pretty sure? I mean, I could go into detail about all the cavities that I checked, but...
Do you want to press or do you want to stay? I do like how her face changes.
Yeah, I was playing with the eyebrow. Also her eyes.
Wiggle, wiggle.
Her beautiful eyes. I'd like to press you a little harder. I'd like to press the prosecution a little bit harder. If you know what I mean.
Prosecution or the witness?
Emma. But how sure can we be that the subject ingested the Delta knowingly? Well, we can't be sure of that. Certainly not just from an autopsy. Said it must have been a liquid, yes. Would it have been a large amount? Depends on the concentration of the delivery solution. It could have just been a drop. Kind of thing that could easily go unnoticed, yes. Calls for speculation, Your Honor. Withdrawn.
Oh man, I wanted to jump on her case.
Jump on my what?
Right, need a little bit more.
Dr. Sato, were you only able to even identify the You were only able to identify the presence of this delta after hours of work. Can you really be sure that this never before seen chemical can cause respiratory failure? Well, I have had time to run simulations, and they do give every indication that would act as a depressant. I need to get exactly one. Fuck. Just enough of any depressant and respiratory failure would occur. Why is the stay noise louder than the press noise?
I don't know.
Only Well, yeah, what is she gonna do? Take the poison herself? She doesn't have it.
I mean, is it a logical argument to ask or not? That's what you gotta think.
Isn't it possible that he actually died from something other than respiratory failure? Shit! Well, no. No, not really. You could argue or speculate about what caused the respiratory failure, but it is, in fact, a fact that he died because his heart and lungs stopped working. Right. Thank you for that. You've ran simulations? So you haven't tested Delta on an actual person? No, I haven't. That would be very difficult to do given our extremely limited sample. Not to mention highly unethical. Of course. But without such a test, you don't actually know for sure that Delta can cause any of the symptoms you've described. Is there a question in that statement, counselor? You don't actually know for sure, do you? No, not yet anyway. Seems like that's... Blackjack. Reach 21 in blackjack. Thank you for your time, Dr. Sato. We all appreciate it. But it does seem like we're still in the dark about many details regarding Dr. Asher's death, wouldn't you say? Well, poisoning via the compound we're calling Delta is still the most likely explanation. So there are other explanations for what happened? Defense is calling for speculation, Your Honor. It's not speculation when a medical examiner is attempting to explain the cause of death, Your Honor.
The witness will answer the question.
Well, respiratory failure can be caused by illnesses. If he had undiagnosed pneumonia or some other disease and his respiratory system was weakened. Undiagnosed pneumonia with his level of healthcare? It is technically possible. I'll take it. I have no more questions for this witness. Ugh, that felt weak. I can't be picky when I'm stalling for time. Seeding doubt wherever I can, however I can, is just about all I can manage. Dr. Reyes, you're one of the leads in investigating this crime scene. Yes, ma'am. And did you interview the EMTs who first arrived on the scene? I did. They responded to an emergency signal from the home security console located in the kitchen. What did they find when they arrived in the scene? The victim was unconscious on the floor of his parlor. He was receiving CPR from a witness, the individual who had called them. They were both airlifted to Gatesfield Memorial Hospital, and Dr. Asher was declared dead shortly after arriving there. She's actually handling herself pretty well up on the stand. I have expected her to roll her eyes during the swearing in. But when you take into consideration her love for boot heel authority, she might be right at home here in the courtroom, the very seat of the state's power over the people. The witness met with the deceased about half an hour before he fell ill from 7:30 to 8 p.m. The two of them talked for some time and shared a drink. Shortly after, Dr. Asher became distracted, lightheaded, and eventually non-responsive. And during the same time period, drinking the same liquor, this witness exhibited no symptoms themselves. None. Through a collaborative effort with Noble Electronic Security Division, we searched the entire building, but we found nothing unusual in any of the food or drink on the premises, including the bottle that the witness and deceased drank from. So what was your ultimate conclusion after investigating the scene? The whiskey bottle was clean, the witness's drink was clean, only person who got sick was Dr. Asher, drinking from a cup that he had prepared. So is our determination that Dr. Asher committed suicide by poisoning himself. She's pretty tight-lipped up there, but I think she slipped up at least once. Police want to claim that they've eliminated every other possibility and covered every angle. But I know there's a number of blind spots that they're not willing to admit to. Braybray cup, David's cup, poison. Date of birth, December 2nd. That's over
300 kilograms. She's also
that's almost
7 feet tall.
Yeah, that's at least 7 feet tall and almost as heavy as 2B. I think. Isn't 2B like 350 kilograms or something? Or is that pounds? Occupation, automated dependent.
2B
Adjutant.
weighs 328 pounds.
Oh, okay. I don't know the conversion rate.
80 weighs 660 pounds. And yeah,
Oh yeah, she's like 9'7".
she is, yeah, she's 103 inches, sorry, 103 and a half inches tall, which,
Yeah, that's like
yeah.
9'7". Wow. No, 8'7" or something. I already forgot the math. Likes raw
Yeah.
salmon, running water, and gymnastics. Is like criminals, contrarians, and pigeons. Libra, self-assigned. Type: open, obedient, observant, people. 3 size. Okay,
She's
she's
the only person in the game who gives her 3 sizes.
100. Is that centimeters or inches?
I believe those are centimeters. It's the
She's
circumference of your bust, your waist, and your hips.
think, if I'm remembering correctly, she's 1 centimeter smaller than Tsunade. Hang on. No, she's 9 centimeters bigger. I'm mistake. Tsunade's 106. Anyway. The evidence. Enough about boobs. Yeah.
It's Upright Cup, David's Cup, and Poison.
You're welcome. Asher met with his wife. He's someone who prepared their drinks. Belch was just enough to snap me out of silk sock for a moment. Sorry, maybe. Drink from a cup that he himself poisoned. Seems pretty cut and dry if you ask me. But just to be sure, we scanned the kitchen, the lab, the basement. There is no poison anywhere else. She slipped up there and made a claim she can't actually support. All you do is point it out, and then I'll get to watch her self-destruct, which should be fun. I think I know what it is. Drink my cup, himself prepared. Seems pretty cut and dry if you ask me. That's cute. That's cute, counselor. You almost made a salient point. Do I get points for that?
Boy, I hope not. Otherwise, I wouldn't get to do this. Overruled.
Fuck. I need to make objections more carefully than that. It's like, how could she couldn't have completely searched the basement because there were rooms she couldn't get into. That's correct. He's the one who prepared their drinks. Yeah. Looking for witness ever slipping something. Drink my cup, he himself poisoned. Pretty cut and dry if you ask me. Alright, I think I know what it is now.
Okay.
They couldn't find... Okay, never mind.
Would you like help?
Please?
I'm pretty sure it's David's cup on the last line she says, because there's no they couldn't find any poison in the cup, right? It had evaporated. God damn it. I'm sorry.
I'm dying. I'm fucking dying.
Okay, I think I know what it is now.
What is it?
He drank from a cup that he himself poisoned is the line you need to hit. And I'm pretty sure it's empty cup or David's cup, whichever one it is.
Yay. You can't make that claim, not when the evidence record clearly shows that tests of Dr. Asher's cup were inconclusive. The police can't claim he drank from a poisoned cup without first proving that his cup was in fact poisoned.
You're talking a lot of sense, lady. Does it resolve? Or do you have a response, D.A. Rockford? Fucking trading card game jokes.
Testing on the deceased's cup has been inconclusive so far, Your Honor. I don't dispute that. Though I'd be surprised the defense has any idea how else the poison could have possibly been delivered to Dr. Asher alone. Not at this time, but that's the funny thing about the burden of proof. It's not on the defense. As we're all aware.
Right. We all knew that. I definitely knew that.
She's got a Vita.
Yeah. Also, she has heels.
Uh-huh.
And she has shorts on underneath her dress.
Of course. Alright. Now, if the people are done bemoaning that pesky innocent until proven guilty issue, perhaps I could begin my cross-examination.
Fire away, baby. Fire away.
Baby? Ray's testimony is meant to show that David's the only one who could have poisoned himself. She'll be in guard and hard set against helping me, but if I keep her focused on limiting other possibilities, I could get her to make my point for me before she even realizes what's happened. Detective, isn't it possible that David Asher was poisoned off camera? Possible? I don't know how else it would have been done. That just goes to show it had to have been suicide. The only time he was off camera, he was all by himself. What? Fuck off. Shit, that's not where I want to lead the conversation. It might certainly seem that way, yes. The only people you saw on the cameras that night were Dr. Asher and this witness, correct? Yeah, there was no footage in the house of anyone else. Are there any parts of the house that aren't recorded by camera? Sure. There are a number of rooms in the home's interior that don't have cameras in them. So it's possible that there were other people there that night because cameras weren't watching every room. No, that's not possible. The only way up to the penthouse through the building's elevator or the fire escape stairs, both of which are on camera. And that still wouldn't get you past his front door, which is also on camera. No one else besides the two of them was there that day.
What's your press option?
What about before that day? And if they had been there before yesterday, then we would have seen them leave. Again, through the front. Okay, fuck. Why am I... Okay, I've also been stealthily trying to look up a walkthrough and finding fucking nothing. Why
I
is...
have a walkthrough, if you want to stick to that instead.
Yes.
Okay.
I have 19 chips left. I can't lose anymore.
Alright, we'll get you through this.
I thought my years of playing Ace Attorney would help me get through this, but no, I'm floundering. Or we would have found them during the course of our investigation of the house. Your Honor, I believe we've exhausted this particular line of questioning. Not that exhausted. Not that exhausted, goddammit.
So you've already got everything from anyone else in the building and could have been poisoned off camera.
Oops.
It's fine. It's not going to penalize you for picking that option again. You just need to stay here instead of press.
Detective, we've been doing a lot of assuming and reasoning in quick succession, so I'll ask this plainly for the court. Is there any photographic evidence showing David Asher adding anything to his drink that night? No. Seems he had already poured for both of them by the time he returned to the parlor. He had already poured? In that case, next questions need to be when and what.
Now for this one, any poison in kitchen.
Because that's new. Detective Reyes, during the course of your investigation, did you find any samples of Delta in the kitchen or parlor? No. That was a fast answer. Well, it was a pretty easy question. If we had found poison at the scene of the crime, that'd be pretty important, don't you think? What about in his lab? His bedroom? His basement? No, no, and no. We didn't find Delta or any other unusual substance in any part of his penthouse. Right. They never found any poison. No poison at all?
Now would be the time to press.
At any point in the investigation, was poison found on the body of the deceased? No. He must have been searched. Did he have any capsules or vials? Eyedroppers? Didn't even have his wallet on him. Why? And thank you for enlightening the court about this point, Detective. What point? Well, I think it's strange, don't you, Detective? I mean, how could he possibly poison himself without first procuring some poison? Blackjack. What do you mean, procure? Where'd it come from, Detective? The poison that you're so sure was dissolved in his drink. It can't have come from thin air, you understand? It had to have been in another container at some point. Whatever it was in before, it probably evaporated. All of it? It only took a small droplet to kill. Your Honor, are you going to ask him to keep it civil?
In a minute. Sure.
There wasn't any pill bottle in his bathroom or syringe in his pocket containing this apparently deadly substance. So how'd he get it? What did he keep it in? The police want to claim that Dr. Asher committed suicide because they've established that his guests never had an opportunity to kill him, but they failed to prove that the victim had the means to kill himself. Then I guess I'll be the one to move things along. The Delta didn't come out of thin air, Counselor. And it didn't come from a syringe either. Dr. Asher was able to drip the poison right into his cup, straight from the source. Shit, that's way too specific to be a bluff. Allow me to submit into evidence Exhibit G. Piece of machinery found in Dr. Asher's laboratory. Oh, he printed it! Fuck. That's smart.
3D printed poison directly into your bloodstream.
Sold under the hang on. Sold under the product name Nanofacturer.
Oh, I know this one. It's used in delicate scientific work to produce nanomachines, chemical compounds, and polymers.
Nanomachines, son!
Nanomachines, sister.
Nanomachines, bitch. That's the same machine I saw when Dawes gave me a tour of the production floor. Very good, Your Honor. It's a valuable tool in any scientific laboratory, and Dr. Asher is well acquainted with its use. As a matter of fact, he had a number of presets coded into it. Even the android can see where this is going. Just a few taps, he could reproduce any number of specific substances for his research.
Even Speedwagon is afraid.
Even Speedwagon gets in trouble. Or any other chemical his heart desired, really. You think Randock Mechanics would allow their product to be used to produce illicit chemicals? Using the nanofacturer to make unlicensed drugs does go against their terms and conditions. So Dr. Asher's warranty is certainly null and void. But they can't hard-code their machines to present the production of a drug that hasn't been invented yet. That's... Dr. Asher died when his respiratory system failed because of a depressant overdose. For him, it would have been peaceful, like falling asleep. You see, he didn't need to commission a synthetic drug from some street vendor or order an exotic poison from overseas. He could produce Delta any time in the comfort of his own home. A quick and painless death, readily available in under a minute, at the touch of a button. Specifically, preset number 19. Damn! Thought I actually had something for a moment there, but I was playing into Emma's hand the entire time. Seems like we're done with this witness, Your Honor.
Yes, ma'am. But before we move on, perhaps we should take a moment and put together a timeline of events as we know them. Not for me, of course, just in case someone else might need it.
Here, look at my ass. Simple enough. We know that Dr. Asher left the parlor and went down to the basement at 7:36 p.m. That's where he got the whiskey. In the cups they drink from. The camera showed him returning to the parlor to drink with the witness at 7:40 p.m. And of course we know that he fell ill and passed away shortly thereafter. Any objections so far, Counselor?
So for this,
I'm gonna raise.
you need to stay.
I don't need to raise. Not at this time, no. Timeline you've described is accurate, as we know it. As you say. With this latest piece of evidence, we know that Asher could have easily dispensed the poison directly into his cup by placing it inside the nanofacturer, activating the preset, and simply waiting 2 minutes. Easily accomplished during the 4 minutes he spent off camera from 7:36 to 7:40. Wouldn't you say?
Ooh, a complete timeline of events. He had the means, he had the only opportunity.
I love her little urethra pose.
Seems like we're ready to wrap up here, no?
Where are we on that loading bar of yours, Sarah?
Adonai,
I had a feeling you'd say that. Well, counselor, are we done here? Time to raise!
Of course.
His argument is missing something. Feels like we're missing at least one biggie here, folks. Namely, motive.
Oh, right. I knew that. I wasn't getting excited to finish early or anything.
This is a preliminary hearing, counselor. Our focus should be on the evidence, so... Just feels like an awful waste of taxpayer dollars to get us all down here for debate and not get to the truth of the matter, you know. So, I was hoping we wouldn't have to go through this next part. What are you talking about? Your Honor, if it pleases the court.
Ooh, new evidence. Gimme!
Your Honor, I have just updated the autopsy report. This is a recording of a phone conversation dated at 6:30 p.m. last night between a deceased and a man he was in a relationship with. A man named Isaac Porter.
Get ready for the receipts.
Porter and David's breakup call? If Emma wants to present it here now, then the content must be... relevant, Your Honor?
Yeah, that... What bearing does this recording have on the case at hand?
That's cool. It establishes what emotional state the deceased was in on the day he died.
Cool. Begin playback. Hello?
Oh wait, you're Isaac, I'll be David.
Okay.
Hello? I think that's Isaac. No, that's
Morgan.
That's Morgan. Always so soft-spoken. I guess we're not going to hear Isaac.
No, you're gonna hear Isaac.
Isaac, you there? God, look at him! He's such a woman!
Yeah, I'm here.
What's wrong?
Don't know. Guess I wasn't expecting you to pick up.
Why not? Did you mean to call me?
Yeah, I did.
I love his phone says on call Pookie.
Oh yeah, you're right. Oh. You gonna ask me how I've been?
Yeah. How have you been?
Christ, David.
What's the matter? Whatever it is, whatever I did, I'm sorry.
Whatever you did... That's alright, man. I'm sure you are sorry. I just don't want any more apologies from you.
I'm sorry. Okay.
And I don't think I want anything from you anymore, David.
What do you mean?
I shouldn't have done this. This was unnecessary. My bad, man, for not taking the hints. With you, it's always better left unsaid, right? More efficient that way, so you can keep working.
Isaac, I've been distant with you, or
Nah. You haven't been distant with me, or cold with me, or anything with me for a while now.
Isaac.
Just forget it, man. Forget I called. Forget it all. Yeah. Let's just forget we were anything but strangers. That's all we are now, anyway.
Isaac, recently I've been distracted, I know.
Nah. Don't worry about it. Really. We're good.
Oh. Okay. So, do you need anything, or should I... Where did you even get this? All of Dr. Asher's incoming and outgoing phone calls were recorded by the building's penumbra system, and the recording continued for several seconds after each call was ended for quality assurance. Remind me to check the terms and conditions on my next phone bill. Shall we hear the rest? Gotta be the last time. Last time I let someone... The last time.
Father?
It might just be a call, but it makes it pretty damning evidence at this point in the discussion. All that took place between Isaac from the night that David died. Isaac ended their relation during the call because the call was received during inside his home was already like and Miss Godder means opportunity and motive all lined up. So why is she looking at me like that?
That was depressing. Can we finish up without anything else that horrible?
I'm like bawling my eyes out here.
My makeup is getting ruined.
Has anyone got like a tissue box or anything? Can we take a recess so I can touch up my mascara? This is ruining my foundation. Why didn't I buy water resistant makeup? Emma's never been apologetic in victory. So does that mean this is just pity? Less than 2 hours before David Asher died, Isaac Porter ended their relationship over the phone. The court can make a reasonable assumption about what kind of mental state Dr. Asher was in last night. That was a bad move, Miss Rockford.
Then, if the people have nothing further to add...
I've been feeling off my game all day. Caught between corporate inbreeders and ant brain protesters, and... But pitying me, here and now? That's all it takes to get my blood properly boiling.
It's about time for...
Hold it! Me to call my first witness, no?
You want to keep going? After that?
What are you doing, counselor? Just calling the ultimate silver bullet rock solid slam dunk witness a girl could ask for. Isaac Porter. Oh. Okay. Would you like to take over voicing her?
Sure. Is here good? Does it matter where I put my hands?
Miss Starling, thank you for coming here today.
Of course. Whatever I can do.
What is your relationship to the deceased?
I was his executive assistant at Noble Electronics. I would arrange his meetings, coordinate communications between him and other departments. That sort of thing.
Ultimate silver bullet? Starling's the only play I have right now. The only stalling tool I have left. For now, I should just focus on getting as much information from her as possible. Whether or not it's useful, it'll at least buy me some time. While Jess was being sworn in, Sarah mentioned that the hard drive's about 60% decrypted. Considering the rate Sarah's gone at so far, there's maybe another hour left. I might be able to stall that long. If I talk real slow. Just like the Ace Attorney movie. No, but if you can... Stop talking so to solve for time! I'd like to ask you a few questions about Dr. Asher. Please answer them to the best of your ability.
Right.
Dr. Asher was a well-known public figure, but was he well regarded professionally?
Of course. Dr. Asher's work set the bar for the entire automated dependent world. Happy microwave noises.
She's gonna get all smug and haughty whenever someone praises her dad.
Yeah.
Total daddy's girl. Stay focused, Spearmint. You say you coordinated his communications. Were there ever threats? Did people ever express an intent to harm him? Objection. Calls for speculation. Intent?
I'm feeling that's gonna be, sustained.
Did anyone ever threaten him?
There were times when he was the focus of negative attention.
How so?
Dr. Asher was a favorite subject of many conspiracy theorists.
One of the most prominent theories for some reason was that he's secretly a woman, but that doesn't make any sense to me.
I feel like my gaydar would have gone off. I've got a pretty good gaydar, you know? It has no concept of, like, there's a difference. With all his contributions to the field, it was easy for them to make claims about his influence. They'd say his work was plagiarized, or that he was hiding illegal subcommands in the technology he helped develop.
And people would contact him about these conspiracy theories. Relevance? Whether or not people wanted to kill him?
Well...
Withdrawn. Miss Starling?
People would attempt to contact him, yes. But their messages were always too vague for the police to take action on. They would say that he belonged in jail or that he couldn't avoid the truth. Or that someone should do something to shut him up.
Gee. Time for you to shut up! Oh, Fina's streaming.
Mm-hmm. She's streaming in Hello Charlotte, episode 2.
I've never heard of that.
It's a RPG Maker game.
Did they
Kind of horror-y, and also just very weird.
Did they ever talk about hurting him?
Yes. But, I always turn those messages straight over to the police. Yeah, I'm seeing that on the record. Yeesh. Who writes this stuff?
All those cases have long since been resolved, Your Honor. None of the parties involved have had contact with David Asher in years. The police take harassment very seriously.
Huh?
Something you want to add, counselor? Just clearing my throat. May I continue? Ow, for some reason I suddenly got a little pain in my, like, tailbone. Experienced harassment and stalking from conspiracy throughout his career. You worked with Dr. Asher for many years. Did you have a relationship outside of work? Did you ever talk about anything besides professional concerns?
Sure, we've gone out to dinner or met on the weekends. I think he liked to pick my brain since he needed relationship advice a lot. Even if he didn't realize that what he was asking for. But I'd like to think that he knew he could talk to me, but
Did he ever talk to you, or to your knowledge, anyone else about hurting himself?
God, no, never.
Do you know of any history he might have had with mental illness, depression, anxiety?
No.
So when you heard the people argue that Dr. Ashford had done this to himself,
I was shocked. I couldn't believe it.
you're saying that you can't believe... Objection. On what grounds? Asked and answered, stalling, and also... People have documents that would be of interest to the court in this matter.
Juicy. And what matter specifically are you referring to?
The deceased's mental health history. Emma wouldn't be speaking up if she didn't have something real. So what the hell is this about? We have private correspondences that describe... If they're private, then they should... If they're private, then they should not have been obtained by the people without his permission. He can't give permission if he's already dead, and we're well within our rights to obtain evidence as it pertains to his crime.
Convincing.
Damn, I didn't honestly expect to stop her from admitting her evidence into a record. But I was hoping to at least slow her. Where are you in that footage?
77%. Approximately.
Tch. I need to buy whatever time I can, however I can. Even though it means running out the clock as a punching bag. I have here messages between Dr. Asher and the psychiatrist he was meeting with and speaking to for the past year, along with paperwork detailing how this treatment was covered under his Platinum plan. Platinum? I don't intend to air all of Dr. Asher's secrets here in the court.
Oh. Okay, I guess.
But I am prepared to read excerpts from messages and transcripts from phone calls. which, when put together, paint a clear picture of the kind of stress David Asher was experiencing and the dark thoughts he was struggling with. Transcripts of his phone calls? I'll admit them into evidence, assuming there are no objections.
So, raise it.
I'll gladly object. On the grounds of foundation. Where did you say you got this? It was retrieved from his digital records. There's no reason to doubt its authenticity. Even if I were to point out that David had an executive level 4 plan, not a platinum plan. What?
Really? Really?
Yes, really. It's all there in the record. This is easily explained. David had an executive plan that Noble managed for him. He was also seeing the psychiatrist, both in person and over the phone. Your own witness has attested that he dealt with stalkers and was worried for his privacy. So it's easy enough to reason that he had a separate insurance policy he paid for on his own. Even if only to keep one thing out of Noble's grasp. Sure, easy enough to make that assumption. That doesn't make it correct. David used a separate insurance to hide the psychiatrist from Noble's spying? No, he was smarter than that.
So, don't forget to click up the plus in the heart to up the ante. And then...
all building calls recorded admired by Noble.
Let me know what you think the answer is, and I'll tell you if you're right. If you want to keep using the guide to keep the chips up.
It's Sarah's evaluation.
No, it's not.
Fuck. I was like, how could he afford an insurance plan if he's spending all on this girl?
No, it's
Young's-
recorded calls. Because they're all monitored, so why would he be talking to a psychiatrist on the phone?
Damn, you're right. Nope, don't pick that up. Where do I put this?
On top of the platinum plan.
David may very well have wanted a private psychiatrist, someone who didn't work for Noble, who would have his best interests at heart. But if so, he wouldn't have contacted them over the phone. Not when he knew all his phone calls were being recorded. David Asher is well versed in having every aspect of his life overanalyzed by data-hungry parasites. Do you really think he would try and hide mental health problems from them with a second insurance policy? Apparently, yes, since I'm standing here with evidence that shows exactly that. Does it, though? Pardon me?
Yeah, like, what exactly are you suggesting, counselor?
Still not done decrypting?
Well, it's difficult to...
Right. What the hell? Might as well swing for the fence at this point. I'm not trying to muddle the issue or confuse the court, Your Honor. And I would never make outlandish, unsubstantiated claims just for the sake of causing drama. What are you... I'm merely concerned that D.A. Rockford has been an unwitting pawn in an act of corporate espionage. Ooh. What? If the markets were to open Monday with people believing that David Asher, the man who programmed the brain of every noble android, was battling mental health issues for the last several months? Objection! Mischaracterization? Foundation? All the rest? There are no corporate spies in this courtroom, counselor, and there are no boogeymen hiding under the bench.
Oh, thank God.
8084 has become Catholic. David Asher was a once-in-a-generation intellect and extremely valuable human asset to his employers. and his employer's many enemies would do whatever it takes to restore his credibility now that he can't defend himself. And he was also your personal... You shouldn't even be here arguing this case in the first place, counselor. Now you're trying to call the police's evidence gathering into question? All because you can't admit that for the past several months your friend has been seeing a psychiatrist every Monday and you didn't know? That is...
Sorry, but like... Did you still need me up here?
Just don't interrupt right now.
The witness will refrain from interrupting when girls are fighting.
OMG, the girls are fighting! Where's my popcorn? Bailiff!
Yes, ma'am.
How my luck's been so far, Sarah's progress bar is probably moving backwards right about now. And Emma's patience is wearing thin. This could be my last shot to create any kind of reasonable doubt. I'd be happy to wrap up my questioning if the court will allow.
That seems... cool with me.
And my evidence, Your Honor, will it be entered into the record?
I'd like to hear a bit more testimony before deciding.
That's fine, Your Honor. As you were, Counselor. This stage of the game, with the score where it's at, I can probably only ask one more question. Better make it count, so what can Starling tell us that no one else could? If she hadn't called me this morning, I wouldn't be standing here. She only did that because... Miss Starling, we're all gathered here to try and figure out what happened to Dr. Asher last night. So please, tell us, when exactly did he last... contact you?
Oh yeah, the option is different in the walkthrough. I believe contact you is the option you're supposed to pick.
When was the last time you had contact with Dr. Asher, Miss Starling?
Well, that's pretty easy to figure out. Let me just... Yeah, it was last night at 6:57 p.m. We texted back and forth.
After Isaac broke up with him. There are records of some texts, but they're flagged as work-related. Does the court really think they're relevant, Your Honor? Relevant? Yeah, they're relevant. They could reveal something about his mental state after the breakup.
Yeah, you're gonna raise this shit.
Could very well be the single most important piece of evidence in this whole trial. What?
I just got chills.
That's a cute face.
It is. Don't know why, though.
I just got chills. Don't know why, though.
Must be a draft.
Must be a coolant link. The defense doesn't know what they're talking about. On the contrary, these texts are a vital piece of evidence that changed the timeline of events as we know them. We know what happened to David last night, generally speaking, but the order of events is critical, especially if Emma wants to make claims about David's state of mind. Yep, I know exactly what to do. He's turned to undo.
I'll just check it for you before you hit submit. Also, don't forget to up the ante.
Yep. Good noise.
Yeah.
So there's Isaac's call, Starling's texts, Jung's testimony, and then he faints.
Sounds right to me.
Yes, that's it! I'm back up at the start. Whew! Thanks, Miss Starling, we now got a much clearer picture of the night's events. We know that Isaac Porter and David Asher broke up at 6:30.
And I was rooting for them so hard.
Fujoshi. I mean, maybe not. I mean, not really, because he's probably an egg. And we know that David messaged his assistant, Miss Starling, at 6:57 p.m. David was on camera with a witness from 7:30 to 8 p.m. And he was declared dead not long after. People don't object to that timeline of events. But we do question Counselor Morgan's reason for delaboring it. One last question, Miss Starling.
Yeah?
What was the nature of your conversation with Dr. Asher?
Well, actually, we talked about you.
Mm-hmm.
And how he wanted you to have his android. That android. There. Putting his affairs in order, I guess.
Shit! It might appear that way. Uh-huh. Can you specify what his instructions were exactly? How did he want this done?
Well, he wanted me to bring you to his penthouse and help you get set up as the android's new owner.
Yes, Miss Starling. Miss Starling, but when did he want this to happen?
Well, he said it was pretty urgent, and so I should do it first thing Tuesday morning.
Tuesday? First thing Tuesday morning. David Asher didn't like doing anything on Mondays. And was he doing it? Was he going to be in attendance?
Well, actually, yes, he said he would work from home to help us. No way he intended for us to have that much trouble getting to... Oh.
She's still crying about the two.
Yeah.
She's a total Fujoshi. To summarize then, half an hour after he had already had his breakup and half an hour before his guest had arrived, he was planning an appointment that would require his presence with you next Tuesday.
That's right, he was.
Not something you would think to do if you were planning on dying that very night.
Yeah, you're right.
That's... Your Honor, if David Asher was preparing for the week ahead a mere hour before he passed away, don't you think the people's assumptions about his mental state ought to be re-examined? That's...
Your logic is sound. Do the people have a rebuttal?
If the court would just allow a moment. Sounds like an opening to me. If we assume that Dr. Asher was not suicidal and therefore did not kill himself, we must then ask ourselves who else had the means, motive, and opportunity to take his life. Until now, we've taken for granted this idea that the Delta must have come from its manufacturer from inside the house. I mean, if we're being
There's
literal...
no one else in the house. So how else could it have gotten into his cup and his cup alone?
I was going to say there are actually 3 people in his house. David, Jung, and Sarah.
And Sarah has no memory of that time. Because she was in hibernation.
Mm-hmm.
Adonai.
Not right now. But even if that's true, which it may not be, that doesn't mean that he was the one who used the manufacturer.
Adonai?
Would you allow me one moment to confer, Your Honor?
Sure. Why not throw away your momentum?
I'm in the middle of something, Sarah. Can't afford to let Rockford...
I've gained access to the hard drive's files.
What? Seriously?
As I said, progress with this type of encryption is exponential. it can be difficult to estimate.
Right, okay. Do you have the footage from last night?
I have the file.
Have you watched it?
I thought you'd want to know right away.
I suppose it doesn't matter. Either this has our silver bullet and we've got a case, or it doesn't and everything falls apart.
That seems quite risky.
It's the least risky path to victory we have. Why'd I struggle with that so much? Seeing how it's the only path to victory we have. Screw it. Upload it to the court computer.
Yes, Adonai.
Thank you for your patience, Your Honor. Your Honor.
I'm awake. And I'm getting a pretty hefty chunk of video data for breakfast.
Gained 50 pounds from it right now.
It all goes to her tits.
Fuck. I mean, not the worst outcome, but I want to see those hips and thighs expand. You're submitting security footage into evidence? New security footage? The police corroborated a witness's testimony using the house's cameras. Security cameras installed by Noble as part of the penumbra system that showed the parlor, the kitchen, but not the basement. During the course of my investigation, I uncovered a hidden security circuit buried in the deceased's own home system. You... what? People say that the Delta must have been in Dr. Asher's cup because there's no other way for him to have ingested it. But we never saw him or anyone else put anything in his cup on camera. Because he must have poisoned his own drink off camera. Exactly! What? That's a new possible explanation. That he added the Delta to his drink off camera. He placed his cup inside the manufacturer, activated it, waited 2 minutes, and then walked upstairs to his death. But I'm about to present to the court footage retrieved from his basement. Footage that will show that by the time he retrieved the cups in the basement, it was already past 7:38. Meaning he didn't have the opportunity to poison himself.
One clip of footage will prove all that?
If it doesn't, I'm completely screwed. But it's not like I can lose a preliminary hearing extra hard. Anything other than a royal flush here means I'm bust. So better to be the Joker who dances.
The data has been entered into the court record.
Oh boy, oh boy. Sarah, show us when Dr. Asher entered the basement.
Yes, Adonai. I'll search for it now. Here.
On screen. That's the bar, and the timestamp is 7:36. There, David's grabbing the bottle of Rose River and leaving at 7:37. Just under the wire, as it were. Is that it then? I came this far just to... wait. Did he have the cups with him? Is there sound?
None at all.
Keep going. If you had to go back to get the cups. Counselor. What's that android doing on camera? It's at the bar. The android gave him the cups. Shit. That machine never stepped on camera upstairs, not once. We don't know its whereabouts the day of his death. It could have poisoned the cups whenever it wanted. Shit.
What is this? I don't understand.
Your Honor, have the courtroom cleared.
Understood. Please, someone. I don't know what's going on.
Sarah, you need to shut down.
Please, tell me what I'm looking at. I don't remember any of that.
Do we have colors available? Sarah, shut down now!
Adonai, Please, please tell me what I.
Baby. That's an order! Sleeping like a murderous baby.
Is it off?
Yeah, it's off. I've seen this before. It won't do anything until I reactivate it. We don't know that. We don't know anything about this thing anymore. That's... Your Honor. In light of this most recent evidence, the people would like to withdraw their charges against Dr. Asher and end this preliminary hearing. It's been made abundantly clear that David Asher did not commit suicide.
Very well. The charges are withdrawn and the defendant is free to go. Well, as free as he can be in the afterlife. This case is dismissed.
We did it! Yay! Yippee! Sarah's wanted for murder.
Congratulations, Counselor Morgan. Oh no, Sarah's an android. She can't be arrested for murder.
Homicide?
People get arrested for murder. Objects don't.
Yay, chalk up another victory for Morgan Esquire. Now all I have to do is deal with the shitstorm of the decade. 8:47 p.m. Well, I managed to prove that David didn't kill himself. In the process, I proved that his android did. Proof that the android that's been walking around with me all day is capable of murder. A killer robot. A true unbound AI with military-grade specs and at least one death to its name already. So much for avoiding the public eye. And thank you for coming here on such short notice, Judge Barrows. Ha! As if I'm doing you some kind of favor. I didn't realize I had any choice in the matter. This isn't some bad joke, is it, Miss Rockford? I'm afraid not, Your Honor. You know, I like the adjutants. I always have. They deal with the criminal trials so that bookish, quiet, contemplative people like me can spend all day typing up arguments for obscure legal treatises. That's what I like to do. 169 nice centimeters. A+. Superior judge of the higher circuit. Likes air conditioning, espresso. Me too. Espresso, reclining chairs. Dislikes parking lots, noise pollution, mud. Avoids overspending on restaurants. Splurges on expensive hotels. Relaxes by watching action movies. Like, yeah, of course you like air conditioning. Everyone loves air conditioning.
I love air conditioning.
I don't like coming down here and dealing with all this heavy-handedness. Won't someone toiling away under the police state think of the poor bureaucrats? And I certainly don't like making rulings on anything as spicy as AI. She can barely bring herself to say it. And you, Counselor Morgan, you're the one it's registered to? That's correct, Your Honor. So what did it do exactly? Torture an animal, shut down a hospital, crash a coin market? We have it on camera poisoning a man, killing its creator. You mean Dr. Asher? That is... We can't hope to keep this quiet for very long. Thinking about how the supposed fossil judge might be Gen Z Zoomer.
Ugh.
Don't put that thought into the world. This is not Sigma at all.
She's longing for the days when Mr. Beast used to upload content before he got put in the fucking cryogenic sarcophagus, waiting for the chance to be resurrected and do that shit again.
Before he was thrown in the wood chipper by the mob. Angry mob.
Yeah.
All we can do is try and wrap this up quickly. Let's make haste. Adjutant, do you have the case number?
Case ID is 241277A. Docket number YT yada yada yada.
Oh, thank you. Can you repeat that?
YT 984-318-282. Urethra.
I think I lost you after the first 8. I have it copied here. And what are the security procedures for an incident of this nature?
A data quarantine is to be established around any networks the subject was exposed to for more than 66 seconds. All offending hardware is to be destroyed immediately through incineration at a minimum temperature of 3,422 degrees Celsius for 30 minutes.
That would be the screen in the courtroom,
That would unfortunately be
David's computer.
80. Well,
What?
yeah, because Sarah sent the video file.
Sorry, Spearmint. There's nothing to be done. No debate to be had. This isn't even a decision. Sorry, Sarah, not Spearmint. David gave you that name. I should at least make the effort to use it. That sounds very hot. Do we have furnaces that get that hot?
Of course. There are a number of industrial furnaces within the city limits that I could recommend.
Sorry? Why should I be sorry anyway? I fulfilled the request. Favor repaid. I don't owe Sarah anything. Especially not if I killed my friend. Right, Morgan? I'm sorry. I was just saying how grateful I am that we have the procedures for this kind of thing all laid out already. Yep, keeps things nice and simple. It can feel somewhat severe going through these steps so quickly, but nothing, Your Honor. Artificial intelligence is perhaps the greatest threat to human civilization and the sanctity of life there's ever been. Any piece of software, big or small, no matter the vessel, if it can violate the tenets it was programmed with, it has the potential to cripple our nation in a matter of moments. Yes, couldn't have said it better myself. Straight from the textbook, almost. Well, I mean it. Monsters like that don't belong in this world. They should never have been born in the first place. Destroying them is a kindness. If anyone's to blame, it's... No one's blaming you, Counselor. You couldn't have known you were in possession of an AI. I'm talking too much. Probably just tired. It's been a long day and I've had a lot of thoughts. Sorry, Sarah. Whatever you are. You're just born wrong. Not your fault, necessarily. If it were up to me, you get points for trying. Trying to be something more. Trying to be something at all. Or anything other than what you are. Well, that one has more red tint.
Yeah.
It was stupid, of course. And futile. And pointless. Spending hours in front of a TV or laying in bed staring at your phone. Watching stupid movies and trying to paper mache an ill-fitted mask of humanity out of the scraps you could tear out of magazines. Practicing expressions and memorizing lines and trying to get something to take root and grow despite knowing it have nothing to feed on. Stupid. Morgan? What was that, Counselor? I said objection. And what are you objecting to? What are you doing, Morgan? I'm a defense attorney. This is what I do. I understand you've been through a lot of these past few hours, Counselor, but there's nothing to defend. On the contrary, Your Honor, I have to defend myself. Pardon? You say that this android, Sarah, is an AI because it broke its tenets. Obviously. And you believe it broke its tenets because of this newly discovered footage that appears to show it committing murder via poison. All true, and no laws broken on your part. Here it comes. Never thought I'd be incriminating myself in the courtroom just to make a point. Don't you dare try and trap me on this.
Remember to max out your ante. And then, what do you think the answer is?
The gun.
No.
I mean, it's obviously the papers.
Yes.
Stop doing that. It's pretty simple, actually. If the state is making the claim that Sarah's an AI, they're accusing me of committing a felony. Because I'm the legal owner of that android. What the hell are you doing? And if the state wants to charge me with owning an AI, I will not take that lying down. I know my rights. Counselor, your argument is self-defeating. Listen to yourself, Counselor. You claim that Sarah's just an android, a product that will be obsolete within a year. But you've only known it for a few hours. You've only owned it for a matter of minutes. Yet here you are, risking a felony charge to save it from being demolished. Because you're wrong. And I know you wouldn't care. Not unless this android was something special. Look at us. Me arguing that I'm guilty and Emma arguing that I'm a softie. It'd be funny if it wasn't so... fun! You think there's no reason I want to save this android from destruction? Other than feelings of personal attachment?
Remember to up your ante again. You gotta get all those chips.
Evaluation.
Correct.
I can think of at least one reason why I don't want you to turn Sarah into slag. One very convincing reason. Or a very convincing number. What is that? That number is Sarah's estimated financial value on the collector's market. You've gotta be... I got it from an insurance evaluation algorithm. They're designed to lowball you. That does seem like a reasonable incentive for you to want to keep your android intact. It's a free country, Your Honor. I have a right to defend myself. And we have a free market, so I have a responsibility to defend my financial interests. Your Honor, a trial like this would be... I'm not going to let you turn this courtroom into a circus, Morgan. You can't spend the next half-decade bringing in expert after expert to testify on the philosophical distinction between AIs and ads, spiraling into appeal after appeal, all while the media. This machine appears to have willfully killed a man. The public needs answers now. Of course, Your Honor. I have neither the desire nor the resources to get into a drawn-out battle. Since Sarah's asleep, do you want to voice, Barrows?
Sure.
My mouth is drawing out fast. I have neither the desire nor the resources to get into a drawn-out battle with the state over what constitutes an illegal machine intellect.
So...
The state says my android, my property, killed a man in violation of its tenets. So they want to take my property and destroy it. I'll prove that my machine didn't harm anyone, so the state will have no reason to suspect it's an AI, and I'll get to keep my property. Unlawful seizure. Unlawful seizure. Thwarted.
Don't be... feel a stomach ulcer coming on. Fine. You'll have your day in court, but it'll be one day. Tomorrow. Prove that this machine didn't kill Dr. Asher. No, prove that it couldn't have killed him. Anything less than absolute proof, and I'll have the damn thing obliterated. And you'll also be looking at a very real sentencing for the public unrest you'll have enabled.
Yes, Your Honor.
D.A. Rockford, what I'm asking of you is just as heavy. Find the truth by the end of tomorrow. We can't settle for anything else. Win or lose, there can be no doubts about the outcome of this case.
Yes, Your Honor.
And now, I need to go lie down. Can I come? you can power down.
Is this chapter still going, or is this the end?
Welcome to the halfway point.
Oh my... Jesus Christ, this game is big!
Okay, it's not actually the halfway point. You're probably in the last third.
Okay. Morgan. I misjudged you. At what point? Whenever I wrote you off as a small-time defense attorney just trying to tread water. That is so sweet of you to say, Emma. There's layers to you. You've got backbone. Teeth, even. You're gonna make me blush. People talk about your kind like you're boxing against the state, fighting the man. But most defense attorneys wouldn't know a cyberpunk if they walked up to them on the street and shot him. Meanwhile, you just signed up to do 15 rounds challenging the state's authority. Why? Not sure exactly. For David. Yeah, probably. Probably just me being sentimental. But if I had to pick a more lofty reason, well... I think it's all the moralizing. People can be evil. They can choose to do evil things for evil reasons. And if you want to execute them for that, you hear no complaint from me. But animals can't be evil. Information can't be evil. Ideas can't be evil. Guess I'm not convinced AI can be evil either. Whatever else I get up to, I don't want to stand with the book burners of the world. You're more high-minded than I realized. You sure you're in the right line of work? Can't see myself doing anything else. Good luck, Morgan. There are book burners on all sides these days. I talked a big game just now, but I'm in an even deeper hole than when I was trying to prove David's innocence. Doubt won't be enough this time. I need to find the actual culprit, no matter what. Okay, gonna call it there. Almost 4 hours. It's late. I'm hungry. And my mouth dry.
This is also an excellent stopping point.
Yep. David asked for this. Alright. That was fun and exciting. And I'm definitely not going to use a guide next time.
Yeah, it's...
Or I'll try.
You have to just get a couple answers right in a row, and then you build up your credit again, and then if you get on a down... It's like gambling, really. It's like, you got to get a few wins between the losses to get your numbers back up and keep playing.
Where's the save button?
It saves when you exit. So if you go to, like, the save thing, it's one of the... I think it's the up
There it
arrow.
is. Yeah.
Yeah, high roller mode. So you can save, and it's just gonna... Like, it's gonna be on the black screen, and then you can exit the title.
Thanks for joining at such short notice tonight, Bray. Braybray.
Yeah. You're welcome.
This Sunday, well, first, this Saturday, I might be on a stream with Lilycat VT. Not exactly,
nice.
not 100%, sure on that. We talked about it, but I'm not sure if it's, like, solid. But other than that, Sunday, I'll be streaming again on Sunday. I'll be building another Gunpla. That'll be fun. And also a great tax write-off. My links to my Blue Sky and Tumblr and my YouTube are down below. Go and give me a subscribe if you miss any of my streams. Also my public Discord. Follow the rules, introduce yourself, or you'll get the boot in 2 days. And I'm gonna send you over to Fina. Because she is your girlfriend and that'll be fun. And she's playing Hello Charlotte.
Yep, and it will be. It's a bit of a fucked up game, but in the kind of usual, like, oh, this is an indie project, so they got some, weird stuff going on.
Just like this game, sorta.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I'd say it might be a little worse depending on specific content warnings, but I'm sure she'll be a good girl and and at least let you know what those are.
but also go check out Lily too. Just in case. She was playing the new Snake Eater. Neat.
Lily is great.
Yeah. Anyway, I'll see you all next time. Bye bye. Good night.
Goodbye.